delighted to be here. It is finally game week coming up in a few days. NFL regular season on Friday, live on YouTube and YouTube television. We will have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Brazil to play their division foe, the Los Angeles Chargers. Really happy to be here with you on this wonderful Tuesday. Hopefully you had a great Labor Day weekend. My name is Carrington Harrison. Rob Britton is here taking you up to 5:30 today when we hand things off to the Kansas City Royals. Yes, I know it is a game week for the Kansas City Chiefs, and trust me, we are going to have you covered here on 96.5 The Fan. But we would not be doing our job if we didn't talk about the Royals, who are 2.5 games out of the playoffs. We'll get to that coming up momentarily. We'll also lead things with the Kansas City Chiefs as well. We'll talk a little college football this weekend as well. We got a chance to see the debut of Arch Manning. We saw the debut of Jordan Hudson. Bill Belichick. There was a lot of things that happened over the last couple of days since you and I have last spoke. The text line is back up and working, 913-586-7965. Your training montages. I had to learn how to speak to you guys, how I should reply to your text, all of these kind of things. I feel like I've been doing this long enough. I know what I can say and what I shouldn't say to you guys on the text line. But the show, it wouldn't be what it is without you guys. And I don't just say that, but the text line, you guys are a very important member of the show. We don't take a lot of phone calls on this show, but we do read and respond to a lot of your texts. So I am happy that you are back. I'm happy that I'm back. Rob is here. Everybody is excited that football has returned. Again, my name is Carrington. Rob is here. Let's get right into it. Before we do that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. Just one friend to check out the show. That's it. That's all I need you to do. And number three, I need you to remember that our Open is brought to you by our dear friends over at the other place where you can get yourself a cold drink and some hot pizza to enjoy the games. Really happy that football season is back. This is where I would like to start. There have been a lot of people over the last few months that have picked other teams to win the AFC West. I could play audio here for you for the next 5 to 10 minutes of this person picks the Broncos, this person picks the Chargers, this person believes that the division has caught back up to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't have to replay the summer for you guys. You were here. You know what people have been saying about the Chiefs, about the Chargers, about the Broncos. It has been some of the same rhetoric that we have heard, but admittedly, this one feels a little bit different. When you lose the Super Bowl the way that the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl, you're going to take a little bit more arrows than you're used to. So I think that's a little bit par for the course that the Chiefs have had some of these conversations about them. But this is what I think is interesting and where I would like to begin this week as we are looking ahead to Friday's matchup against the Chargers. If you were telling me that this division is better, if you were telling me that now it's the Chargers' turn, or now it's the Broncos' turn, or now the Raiders are going to potentially win this division, then you have to win on Friday against the Chiefs. Because if there's one thing that I say is definitive about the Kansas City Chiefs and has been over the duration of this dynasty, they have never lost this game. They have never lost the early in the season divisional matchup against the upstart team. If there is anything that the Chiefs have done exceptionally well and have a near flawless and perfect record on, it's keeping teams like the Chargers and the Broncos and the Raiders at bay. They own those teams. They dominate those teams. If you want to convince me that this season is different, that this season is going to play out differently than the last 5, 6, 7 years, we're talking about the Chiefs going on a decade straight in this division. You got the Chiefs at a neutral site. They are a 3-point favorite in this game. Vegas is telling you that it is virtually a coin flip, that it's a 55-45 advantage for the Chiefs in this matchup. We know that the Chiefs and Chargers have played very close, very competitive games over the last half decade or so. If this division is really up for grabs, then this is a game that the Chiefs lose. But if you are like me and you think that we have just changed the caps from red to blue, sure, it's a different coach, it's a different quarterback, it's a different talking point. But the Kings stay the king. Until you show me that these other teams can make Kansas City vulnerable and beat Kansas City in these moments and split games in the division, then it is impossible to pick these other teams in the AFC West. So the Chargers are a good team. They won double-digit games last year. The Broncos, I'd put them in the same boat. They also won double-digit games. I'm not here to tell you that these teams are bad, but I'm telling you, if you plan on knocking off the King, then week 1 to kick off this season at a neutral site, when you gave up a home game to play Kansas City, that's where you need to do it. I'm picking Kansas City to win. I imagine a lot of you are picking Kansas City to win. The Chargers have given me no reason to pick them to win against the Kansas City Chiefs in this spot. But if you want to make good on a lot of the preseason hype and expectation, this is a game that you need to steal theoretically from the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll bounce back and forth for most of the day between the Chiefs and college football, but I also want to talk a little bit of Royals here in the open. This was a good weekend for the Royals. All I want the Royals to do is just be within striking distance. You are not going to seemingly overnight jump the Mariners and now looking at the Texas Rangers that have won 5 games in a row and have now very firmly put themselves in this wild card conversation. There are 3 teams fighting for one spot. The Royals play one of these teams coming up in exactly 2 weeks from today at Kauffman Stadium. All I want the Royals to do is to make that series matters and make it feel like something. I want to see the Royals at home against a team that is directly ahead of them 1.5 games back, 1 game back, where if you win this series or if you potentially sweep this series, you then can control your own destiny when it comes to making the postseason. That's how I want this thing to end. So the Royals continue to do exactly what they're supposed to do. It's not always pretty, but the Royals continue to be in it and gain ground and give themselves a realistic chance at being able to do this thing and to make the postseason. You got 2 more weeks until we can have their first postseason series. And I know it's the middle of September. That series against the Mariners is going to be a playoff series. It is Texas, it is Seattle, it is the Royals fighting for one spot in the American League wildcard picture, and that can be the determining factor of why you make or miss the postseason. So a great weekend for the Kansas City Royals. We are looking ahead to the Kansas City Chiefs as they have their first game, their first division game coming up on Friday against the Los Angeles Chargers. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Rob, I hope you don't think because it's football season, I hope you don't think that this means that you have been let off the hook. We have one rule on this show, and I don't want you to think just because it's the Tuesday before the Chiefs' first game that we have any different rule. You know the rule. If we start the show talking a little bit of Royals baseball, it can only mean one thing. You know what? Give me a special Red Tuesday edition of
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to be.
Carrington, I'm in a good mood. You're in a good mood. Everyone's in a good mood. Who has a bad mood after a holiday weekend? So today's Random Royals lineup takes us back to our favorite season, 2003, where ironically the Royals were playing the Texas Rangers. Sadly, on this date in Royals history, they lost 7-8. Here was your Royals lineup. Leading off, the shortstop, the rookie of the year, Angel Baroa.
Let's get it.
Batting second at third base, Joe Renda. Batting third, the designated hitter, Mike Sweeney. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Carlos Beltran. Batting fifth, in right field, Raul Ibanez.
You know how we talk about the Hall of Very Good in football and in other sports? The Royals, they need like a smaller Hall of Fame. Guys who aren't going to be in the George Brett class, but really important Royals for the fabric of the organization. And Raul Ibanez, he needs to be in there. You cannot tell the story of the Royals without including Raul Ibanez.
Batting 6th, the left fielder, Rondell White.
I like Rondell White.
Batting 7th at first base, Ken Harvey. Batting 8th behind the plate, Mike DeFelice. And batting 9th, the second baseman, Julio Mateos, who I don't remember at all.
I've never heard that man's name a day in my life. I don't even know if that's a real person. You might have made that name up.
By the way, the Royals lost on this date because they got a poor outing from Paul Abbott, who only went 4 1/3, giving up 2 but walking 6. Then Jeremy Offeld came in for an inning and make matters worse by giving up 6 earned in 1 inning of baseball. The Royals lost at the ballpark in Arlington on this date in 2003.
Coming up on the other side, we'll get to some of the top stories from the weekend. Rob, what is happening to Kansas State? I mean, you need to put a drive together against North Dakota, not North Dakota State, not South Dakota State. You had to put a drive together against North Dakota to win at home against the Fighting Hawks. We'll get to a little college football. We'll also continue to get you ready for week 1 of the NFL season. We are just a couple of days away from football starting in the NFL. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Training camp in St. Joe is over.
And you know, they don't just call it training camp. They're actually training for the skills they'll have to use all season long.
And you know who else trains that way? Centric Training, except without the shoulder pads and the helmet.
They'll train you on the exact job skills you'll need to be a cybersecurity specialist, and they'll do it in just 4 months, not 4 years.
Get started today, and you can be in your new career before the playoffs even start. Reach out to our friend Russ. Go to Centric.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at Depend.com.
100%. Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then, add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
I'm going to sit in my seat.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on
100%.
Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back into the show. If you just want to simply say hey on the text line, I would encourage you to do it. We haven't had the text line for the last handful of shows. I don't know what happened. One day it was working. The next day it wasn't working. I don't know what was going on with the text line, but now it's back. If you want to send us a message, I'll do my best to reply. Sometimes you guys get mad. It's like it's in the middle of the show. You think I can just be like, wait, hold on. I have to reply to Bill's text. I will do my absolute best to reply to your text, but I got a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to say hello, if you want to ask a question, if you want to tell me you like the show, hate the show, you want to tell me rock chalk because you're excited about losing 31-17 coming up in a couple of days, you can do that. 913-586-7965. Really happy that football season is back here on The Drive. I want to get you guys some numbers before we talk a little bit of college football. And Rob, we might need to do an emergency people's court because I'm looking at one of my coworkers a little suspicious, and we'll talk about it coming up in a bit. So we led the show today talking about all of the conversation this offseason about the AFC West. I mean, I can play for you clip after clip after clip. There are a lot of people that picked the Los Angeles Chargers to win this division. There's a lot of people who picked the Broncos to win this division. Colin Cowherd multiple times has told me that the dynasty is ending, that the Chargers are here, and that the run is over for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you might end up being right. I don't want to come off like there's absolutely no chance that people are not right on this. I doubt it. I don't agree, but it's the NFL. Weird things happen all the time. If you are telling me that this is the year that the Chargers win the division, that this is the year that the Broncos win the division, you cannot pick the Chiefs on Friday. Because step one of breaking the Chiefs' dominance has to be breaking their dominance in the beginning of the season. Andy Reid in his career is 56-15 against teams in the division. Patrick Mahomes has played 40 games against teams in the AFC West. The Chiefs have won 35 of those games. The Chiefs are not just good in the AFC West. I'm talking about their 2008 Kansas basketball good in the AFC West. They are 2013 Alabama football good in the AFC West. If you play 40 games against somebody and you win 35 of those games, it's not realistic to me to come to the conclusion that those other teams are better than you. They got to prove that on the field. I don't care what you did in March. I don't care what you did in April. I don't care what coach you hired. If I beat you 90% of the time, you got to prove it to me. Patrick Mahomes is 19-4 in September as a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. This might come as a shock to you. I know this is going to blow your mind. The Chiefs are really good because they usually get off to really good starts. They're not playing from behind the 8 ball like other teams. The Bengals have been a good team the last handful of years. But when you start off every season 1-3 or 0-2, and now you got a must-win game in week 3, it changes things. The Chiefs usually get off to a hot, fast start, and they have an advantage over Denver, over the Chargers, over the Raiders, where those are the teams that are constantly playing catch-up. And the only way to play catch-up in this scenario is to beat them. And I just gave you the numbers. They don't beat them. So if you're one of the individuals that is picking a alternate team in the AFC West, you are more than allowed to pick whomever you want. The Chargers are good. I think the Broncos are going to be pretty good this year. There's other good teams in this division. You have seen an improvement at coach. You have seen an improvement at quarterback. There's no question about that. But if you are one of these individuals, one of these national media types that is picking or predicting the demise of the Kansas City Chiefs, you cannot be picking them on Friday. You cannot win the division, in my opinion, if you are the Chargers. If you lose a neutral site game to the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not realistic to think that at the end of the season you are going to win more games than them. And you still got a road game in Kansas City to go. It's not realistic to think that you're going to win more games than the Chiefs this season, Rob. That's my conclusion.
It has been a lot of talk this offseason about how the West has caught up to the Chiefs. And I don't think this one game means the West did or didn't. But if this game goes the way those stats indicated, which, by the way, we pulled the stats. Patrick Mahomes is dominant. Andy Reid is a freak against the division. Andy Reid does stuff against the division that is unspeakable. He smokes this division. If you can't, on a neutral field, after being hyped up all offseason, and beat the Chiefs or at least be competitive, then buy your 10-time AFC West championship gear now. Buy your record-setting division title thing today. Get ready for another AFC West banner as the players walk out on the field at Arrowhead. Because if Saturday morning we're hanging out and we're getting ready for KUMU and we said, hey, last night the Chiefs beat the Chargers 34-17, then it's just same old, same old. They are dispensing the division. Now, I will say, if it's a close 28-27 barn burner, we saw a lot of these types of games last year, then I will be open to having the conversation of maybe the West did catch up. But if the Chiefs go down and smack around the Chargers in Brazil, if they just lay the lumber in Sao Paulo, I am not listening to Cowherd or anyone say, oh boy, the AFC West is tight, because it's not.
Rob, hold on. I'm listening to you. You had a hot mic going during the commercial break?
Was that me or you?
It wasn't me. Look at the text line. They said it was you.
Well, I dumped it, so we're good.
Oh, my goodness. You were trying to get us. I always knew you were the ops. We might as well just go ahead and talk about it now. I think Alex Gold is afraid to go to the Missouri game. I'm serious. I mean this in friendly fun. Alex is my guy. I'm a Missouri fan. He's a KU fan. I mean this in love. Alex, last year, had a chance to go to the MU-KU basketball game. Now, I know Alex. Alex loves going to sporting events. If you follow Alex on social media, he is always the first one to let you know, got his feet kicked up at the Chiefs game, going to NASCAR. You don't even watch NASCAR. Alex is always down to go to a sporting event. You guys remember we had that little bet last year. All right, well, hey, give me the, well, I got to see. I don't know. I don't know what's, okay, all right, man, I get it. I got it. All right, cool. Today, we're doing a little crosstalk segment. Hey, Alex, you going to the game? I'm going to the game. Got my tickets, got everything figured out. Rob, you're going to the game. Got great seats. Rob's going to the game. I'm like, hey, Alex, are you going to the game? I mean, I got extra tickets if you need them. I'm happy to help you out. We're brothers. We work together. We rep the same Smart Tech. No, man, I don't want to go to a sporting event in Columbia. Why not? What are you talking about? It's one of the biggest college football games of the year. I'm offering you tickets. You only got to give me any money for them. I didn't pay for them. Here, you can have them. They're right next to Rob, right next to me. We can watch the game together. No, man, I just don't want to go, man. I'll watch it at home. Wait, you're telling me, hold on, you're a diehard KU fan? You're getting offered free tickets to their biggest game of the season, and now you're nowhere in action? This is the thing that I think we always forget in those like fight videos and all of this kind of stuff. If you just simply watch the game and cheer for your team, 99.9% of times, you are not going to have any problems. A majority of the people that go to sporting events are like me, and I imagine many of you. You know what I'm there to do? I'm there to have a good time. I'm there to cheer on my team, and I'm there to leave and get home safely. I did not sign up to be in a UFC fight with any of you. If you ever see me go viral for being at a sporting event, something went wrong, because I'm not trying to go viral. I'm trying to watch the game. I'm trying to have a good time with my family, my friends, and I'm just trying to go home. If you end up on those fight videos more time than not, I think you are probably the problem. You've been yapping, you've been doing something, and it's been weighing on people, and now your team got the beats, and now I got to give you the beats. I think Alex is afraid to go to the game. I don't know why Alex is afraid to go to the game. You guys have to ask him tomorrow. I don't know what it is. He wouldn't really give me a good answer. He seemed very evasive when I asked him the question, why are you not going to the game? Like, all of us are going to the game. There's 3 people here that are diehard Missouri or KU fans. 2 of us are going to the game. Alex, why are you not coming? I'll give you the tickets. What are you talking about? I'll give you the parking pass. All you got to do is drive. No, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really want to go to, okay. It sounds to me like you're scared. And that's okay if you're afraid. I get it. I mean, you're worried they're going to lose, and you don't want to be walking in Columbia with the Jayhawk hoodie on after your team caught another L. I understand that. I mean, we already beat you in basketball. We're about to beat you in football. How many lessons you trying to learn? What else do you want to play? Women's basketball? That's coming up at Sprint Center too. I imagine you guys will also lose in that. You guys want to play volleyball? Missouri's ranked top 15 in volleyball. You'll lose in that also. I just got a sense that there was a lot of fear, man. That's what I got. I got a sense that there was a lot of fear from your guy, Alex Gold.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he's scared of. I'm going to the game. Now, I will say, my wife has already warned me, there will be no trash talk. You can sit, mind your business, watch the football game.
That's it. Watch the game. That's all you got to do. Watch the game.
I told you that's totally fair. I'm going to walk around Columbia. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hit some tailgates up. If you have a tailgate on Saturday and you want me to swing by, feel free to tweet me, text me, whatever. I will come by. I'll say hello. I'm looking forward to a weekend in Columbia. I've talked to Missouri fans. I've talked to you as a Missouri fan. I've learned about the places to go. You got to go to something called Heidelberg. You got to go to Shakespeare's. What's the place? Trops. I'm going to experience a full weekend of Columbia, and I'm excited for the game. KU is a 6.5-point dog. The Vegas odds telling you they're probably going to lose. But this rivalry is back for the first time, 12 years, 13 years? I was not missing this game. And you're right. I'm not going to be on, World Star? That's not a thing in my life on Monday.
I don't want to be on TikTok after the game.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit there, I'm going to have a few beers, have some concessions, hang out with my wife, watch KU-MU, hope that KU pulls the upset and gets it done, and then I'm going to walk around Columbia and have a nice night out. I don't plan on talking to other people about the game. I don't plan on chirping with other people. As long as I mind my business, I feel like I'm good. And you know what? I've been to road games before. I went to Bramlage when Jacob Pullen lost to Sharon Collins. I didn't say nothing that day. I had a very pleasant time in Aggieville. I feel like if people are just polite and enjoy the sports, everyone's happy. Now, I will say this. I'm going to go get popcorn when Mr. Brightside comes on. I'm going to avoid that like the plague.
I can't wait to sing it for you.
That's the part that I'm going to avoid. But outside of that, I think I'm good. So I don't know why Gold's scared.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. He obviously has no problem traveling. You're telling me that you rather go watch minor league this game? Because he ain't got no problem hopping in the car and going down to Northwest Arkansas to watch Bobby Witt Jr. play baseball. He ain't got no problem driving to Omaha to watch Jack Caglione. C-Dot. Alex said that you're a closet KU fan. He says that you're in Lawrence more than Columbia. I know one thing I'm not. I'm not afraid to wear my team's colors in their building. Can you say that about Alex Gold? Because I will proudly wear Missouri apparel next year when they're inside the booth. I bet you he's at that game.
You wore Mizzou gear out inside of Allen, the first game back, which they had no chance in that game, and you wore Tiger gear proudly.
Thank you. That's how we get down on this show. So you guys pass this message to my dear friend. It's just a little friendly trash talk as we get ready for the game. But I think Alex is afraid. I do. I think he's a little bit shook. He'll go next year when it's at the booth. I can't wait to say MIZ right there in front of David Booth. I can't wait. I'm so thrilled about it. When's the last time y'all beat Missouri in something? It's been a while. It's been a while since you guys got the best of Missouri in something.
Baseball last year? I smoked him in a 3-game series.
Nobody counts. That don't count.
That doesn't count?
Count that?
Didn't they beat him in women's basketball last year, too?
No, I don't remember
the women's
that.
basketball program in Columbia is trash.
I don't remember that.
And then, 2 years ago, basketball? Smoked them.
Okay.
Allen.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on.
You asked the question.
Okay, let's move on.
You want me to pull all the stats?
Okay, I'm just asking, can we move on? I want to talk about the Chiefs. We'll get to college coming up in a bit. Andy Reid met with the media earlier today. Here he is talking about the status of Hollywood Brown.
Look good out there. Run around and, he's getting the game and play. So, but as far as practice goes, he's done everything.
I don't know if Andy can sound more excited about a player than he just sounded about Hollywood. That's really his excited voice. When Andy starts talking like that, he's telling you that Hollywood's about to have 6 catches for 92 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's what he's telling you. When he starts talking in that raspy, short, he's good. He's practiced all. When he starts talking like that, be prepared. That's what I would tell you. Hollywood Brown also met with the media, which is a really good thing because injured players can't talk to the media. So the fact that he met with the media tells me that he's good, he's healthy, he's ready to play. Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. Here's Hollywood Brown talking about the extra pressure to step up with no Rice on Friday.
No, not really. We know what we could do. When guys go down, it's next man up. When I went down, it's next man up. And that's our mentality throughout the whole team. So for us, it's just doing what we do.
I genuinely feel like Hollywood Brown is the X factor for the Chiefs offense in these first handful of games with no Rashee Rice. The Chiefs have made it a point this offseason to really stress how they want to get back the explosiveness in their offense. The Chiefs last year were ranked 17th in points scored. If you look at some of the advanced numbers, the Chiefs had a very low-risk, dink-and-dunk, safe, predictable offense. The Chiefs really didn't challenge teams down the field. Now, I think some of that is twofold. I think Mahomes' accuracy was bad down the field. We can come up with our own conclusions on why that is, whether it was the offensive line, whether it was some accuracy issues. I remember Xavier Worthy couldn't find the sideline early on. There were a lot of things that contributed to the Chiefs' kind of missed connections down the field. Another thing was injuries. They didn't really have the personnel to really challenge teams down the field. They had one home run threat, and that's Xavier Worthy. With his speed, with his route running ability, you had one guy that you thought could get you an extra base hit, for the analogy. You now believe you got 2 of those guys. This is a really important season for Hollywood Brown. Long live Therese Paylor, but you guys remember, he used to say the contract year is undefeated. We're talking about a guy who has never really gotten that second big payday. We hear all the time how NFL players talk about that second deal and how it sets you up. We've also seen that in Kansas City's offense, if you can stay healthy and put it together for 1 year, you can get paid. I know it feels like a long time ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. Juju Smith-Schuster had 900 yards in the Chiefs offense. All it takes is one team. He got a good payday from the New England Patriots, and it's never really been the same. That's all you got to do if you're Hollywood. You got to put one good season together. And I'm not talking about a Pro Bowl 1,100-yard season. No, can you have 50 catches for 850 yards and 6 touchdowns? If you put that kind of season and you're a home run threat for Kansas City and their offense, you'll get better than a 1-year deal next season when you hit free agency. Maybe you get that from Kansas City. Maybe you get that from another team. Let's see how the season plays itself out. But I feel like Hollywood is their X factor on offense. if this offense is going to hit a ceiling in the first early part of the season, as Jalen Royals is a little bit banged up right now, who knows what the offensive line is going to look like on that left side? It remains to be seen until we actually get game to really break it down. It's Hollywood. It's kind of go time for him. He's 28 years old. This is his third team. It's kind of go time if you're Hollywood. So, Rob, I'm looking at him as being an X factor. He should feel pressure to step up with no Rashee Rice. You performing really well in this offense and you being a legitimate 1 or 2 for the first handful of games can really, really help you down the line when your contract is up and you're either trying to renegotiate with the Chiefs or potentially going elsewhere.
You're calling him an X factor. I'll go a step further. He might be the most important, until Rashee Rice gets back, he might be the most important player on the Chiefs offense. Because we know, we've talked ad nauseum about Rashee Rice suspension. We know that first 6 weeks is difficult for the Chiefs. They have the Chargers in Sao Paulo. We know that this week. They then play the Eagles. They have the Ravens. Like, it is a difficult stretch to navigate starting the season without Rashee Rice. And you said it perfectly. There has been a lot of noise, a lot of buzz, a lot of hope, a lot of everything about the offense getting explosive again. But you know what? If Hollywood Brown is Marquise, because the Texan doesn't want to call him Hollywood, and the offense is Dink and Dunk and Alex Smithian in the first 6 weeks, the person to blame is not going to be Travis Kelce, who I think expectations are in line for. People are not going to be blaming Xavier Worthy. We know they're not blaming the quarterback. Maybe they'll blame the offensive line. But for me, the blame is going to fall on Hollywood Brown. The Chiefs offense is trying to rebuild the Legion of Zoom. They had Hill, and they had Watkins, and they had McColl, and they had speed. And we heard in the offseason, hey, they're getting back to it. They're running it back. They're going to have speed. Xavier, Rashee, and Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is being asked to step up. He can't be a no-show. He can't be he had a nice 550-yard season. He's got to have a good season. This offense has to be explosive. I don't care about Rashee Rice being out. They have talked too often about being explosive. They need to go do it. And if they fall short of it, I'm not going to make excuses about Rice being out. I'm going to say Hollywood Brown is not living up to expectations because he's gotten 2 deals in Kansas City, 2 opportunities to shine. And if he fails in his first 6 weeks, fails is maybe extreme, but if he falls short, I'm not going to pass the buck and be like, well, it's someone else's fault. It falls on him.
I want to play this audio for you guys because I'm very conflicted. There are some people that when they give an opinion about certain things, you would never argue with their opinion. You know, if you were listening to Steve Ballmer talk business or tech, you would never be like, oh, that's wrong. Like, you got to be real crazy to listen to Warren Buffett talk about investing and he says something, you're like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. So I really try to walk that fine line. Like, I want to pay respects to the legends. I want to pay respects to the OGs. That's why it pains me to disagree with Joe Montana about quarterbacks. He was asked, give me your 3 quarterbacks to start a franchise with. Listen to Joe Montana.
I'm taking the guy in Buffalo.
Okay, Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh. The guy that surprised me that I thought would, obviously, Joe Burrows, another guy I like a lot. Okay. And believe it or not, I like the guy with the Chargers. Just Herbert. Just Herbert. I think they've kind of gone by the wayside there, but I don't know. I just like the way those 3 guys are.
BA, how do you feel about his top?
I do also like the guy in Philly though, and
Jalen Hurts. Okay. Just won a Super Bowl. We do like him. Brock Purdy, obviously number 1. He was left out.
Correct.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts is his Mount Rushmore outside of Brock Purdy. BA, did you expect that from Joe Montana?
I thought he might have thrown Patrick Mahomes in there, but I think it states how.
Well, I think I would have if he was younger.
Okay. All right. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right? Like, I'm not going to disrespect Joe Montana. People on the text line, Joe Montana's a hater. Somebody else telling Joe Montana to get out of here. You're irrelevant. I ain't talking bad about Joe Montana. He's one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, one of the greatest players to ever play in the NFL before Tom Brady. If you asked people who's the greatest quarterback that we ever seen, a lot of people would have told you that it's Joe Montana. So how can I disrespect his quarterback opinion? That man said Justin Herbert? He couldn't have said that. No chance. He didn't say that. I don't care what the age difference is between Mahomes and Justin Herbert. If you would take Herbert over Mahomes, you're crazy. And I say that with the utmost respect. You're Joe Montana. That man said Justin Herbert? Okay. Hey, respect, Joe. That's what I'm here to tell you, man. I got nothing but respect. I do. I'm serious. I got nothing but respect for you, Joe Montana. Coming up on the other side, let's talk about Arch Manning. Boy, Saturday did not go how we thought it was going to go. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
So we do a giveaway at GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month we're giving away $25,000 to one lucky person that sells us their car. Karen, you there?
I'm here. Karen Gardner of Oceanside, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
What did you sell us?
I sold you a 95 Impala.
And what did we pay you for it?
You guys gave me 18.
18 plus 25,000 because you're the winner, Karen.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business. And the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know. And they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
This afternoon, expect scattered rain with a high of 78.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
I was talking to the boss earlier, and he was like, nobody wants to talk about college football. That was over the weekend. I'm sorry, I can't help it. We spent all these time watching the games, and we just can't talk about it? No, we're talking about it on the drive. We'll get back to the Chiefs coming up at the top of the hour. Somebody said something very interesting on the text line, and we will save that and talk about it at 3 o'clock. What we did to Arch was criminal. And I say we because all of us are guilty. Paul Feinbaum said that he was the best college prospect since Tim Tebow. Just last week, people were theorizing that the reason that the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons was to have additional first-round picks so they could move up and go get Arch Manning. Everybody is guilty in what we did to Arch Manning over the summer. Me, you, the media, EA Sports, everybody is guilty for what happened. You know what I saw when I watched Arch Manning play on Saturday? I saw a kid who hasn't played a whole lot of football lately. Football is different than any other game we talk about. You can simulate playing basketball. Maybe not NBA level, but you can get guys together and you guys can go have really competitive runs. You can go play in the Drew League. Really high-level, competitive, get you ready for the speed, physicality of what you're about to see. In baseball, simulated games, you can go down to AAA. Now, granted, it's different than the majors, but you understand the point that I'm making. That's not how football works. The only way that you can get better at football is to actually go play. And we can talk about the value of sitting and learning and watching film. None of that has anything to do with this 300-pound guy just hit you in the ribs, and now you got to get back up and repeat process. Arch Manning, heading into Saturday's game, he had thrown 95 passes in his college football career. 60 of them came against Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State. That's not getting you ready for going on the road to the Horseshoe. Before Saturday, Arch Manning had never thrown a pass on the road. It's really difficult when you haven't been playing a lot of football. You don't have a lot of game experience. And now we're going to drop you into a monsoon. And I don't mean like a monsoon from a weather. I mean, it was everything on Saturday. Big Noon is there. College Game Day is there. It's Lee Corso's last day. Ohio State, it's their season opener. They also won the national championship and all the pageantry that comes with your first home game since then. It was a lot. And you know what Arch looked like? He looked like a 19-year-old. He looked like a 20-year-old who hadn't played a lot of football. This is the thing that really stood out to me the most when watching Arch play. That third down, their final drive of the game, if you guys remember, Texas was actually kind of putting a drive together. They started deep in their own end zone or in the shadow of their end zone. They're moving the ball down the field, and you're thinking, all right, hey, Arch is going to give them a chance to win this. It's third down. Ryan Wingo is wide open over the middle of the field. That is a pass. I don't care if you're an NFL prospect, starting quarterback in college football. I don't care if you play quarterback for Lee Summit North. You have to complete that pass. He is running right in front of you, wide open. Arch Manning throws it 105 miles an hour behind Ryan Wingo, and in my opinion, that's when the game was over. The thing that surprised me the most with Arch is he didn't take any of the money on the table. I'm not here to take away any credit from Ohio State's defense. They were great. It was a lot of underneath stuff, crossing routes, timing routes, and Arch, he couldn't hit anybody. He had the accuracy of your girlfriend at Topgolf, just spraying it was bad. It was really, really bad on Saturday. I'm not here to judge Arch Manning off one game. I'm not here to tell you he's trash or any of those things. I am here to tell you two things. Let's stop all the future conversations with Arch. I don't want to have any conversation with Arch about him being an NFL prospect, because that kid that I just watched on Saturday and watched every snap of that game, he ain't ready for nobody's NFL. I'm also here to tell you, let's end the Heisman conversation. If you bet on Arch Manning to win the Heisman Trophy, throw your ticket away. There's no chance that at the end of the season, that guy's the best player in college football. There's a 0% chance. He might end up being a good quarterback. There's no way we think he's the best player in college football in 3 months. I refuse to believe it from where the starting point is for him. But I'm willing to be open to this thing. They got 3 cupcakes coming up. I mean, bakery. They got 3 of them. And then they go on the road and play Florida here in a couple of weeks. A team that's got a chance to make the college football playoff, a team that also has a very talented young quarterback that could be an NFL prospect. Let's see what Texas and let's see what Arch looks like coming up in a month. So we don't need to spend a whole lot of time talking about Arch. I'm not super interested in Arch right now. Up right now, he's the 7th best quarterback in the SEC. That guy ain't interesting to talk about. So let's just see how the next month goes, and then we'll come back in a month when they play Florida on the road in the swamp against a ranked opponent, and then we can evaluate where Arch is. But no more of this tank for Arch or number 1 overall pick. Stop it. That kid was not an NFL prospect on Saturday. Saturday actually was very telling. It was the funeral for Alabama. That's what it was. It was the funeral for Alabama. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, and it was just the how. So some of you that are not big college football fans, maybe you don't remember this, but the quarterback at Florida State had his media availability, the ACC Media Day. They asked him about the game against Alabama, and he said, Nick Saban can't save them. They asked Alabama players about it because, of course, you got to ask them. And their response was, disrespect will be later addressed. Disrespect will not be tolerated. Alabama ran the ball 29 times for 87 yards. Florida State ran the ball 39 times for 246 yards and 4 touchdowns. You accepted their disrespect. It's over. It's over for Alabama being one of those programs. Can they win 9 games this year? Sure. They can. They can win 9 games this year. Absolutely. But in 2 weeks, they go on the road and play Georgia. Is anybody picking Alabama to go on the road and beat Georgia? I'm not picking that. They have a stretch there of 5 games where they play on the road against Missouri, Tennessee, LSU, at South Carolina. No, they're not going undefeated in that stretch. I think the floor right now for Alabama is 3 losses. It might be 5. I don't know if Kalen DeBoer is going to work there. That place is different. If you've been eating at 5-star restaurants for the last 15 years, and you've been eating, the nicest, most beautiful restaurants in America. You've been eating at some places the average person doesn't even know about. It's just you and your wife, and the chef is right there giving you an exclusive tasting menu. That's how Alabama fans have been treated for the last 15, 20 years. They have been the standard. Almost everything in football, whether it's college or NFL, traces back to Alabama in some capacity. The Super Bowl MVP, where did he start his college football career? Think about quarterbacks, running backs. Most of the players that we talk about, debate, discuss, they have been affected by Alabama in some capacity. They have been the gold standard in football for 20 years. They had a playoff berth on the line last year to the worst Oklahoma team in 15 years. They got beat 24-3. They lost a bowl game to a very average Michigan team. They just got pummeled by a team that went 2-10 last year. 2-10. Florida State was able to retool in the portal in one offseason enough to dominate Alabama. They were never in it the final 30 minutes of the game. Got completely manhandled. It's over. I'm telling you, it's over for them being that. They're now Southern Wisconsin. That's who they are. They are Southern Iowa. Iowa's good. They're a good program. Iowa wins 8 games. They're great. When you've been eating filet mignon and A1 Wagyu beef, man, it's hard to go back to eating an Outback. It's hard to go back to eating Applebee's, and that's where Alabama is right now. They are at Texas Roadhouse, which is a good meal for your family. Not when you've been eating Kobe beef for the last 20 years. Coming up at the top of the hour, someone on the text line says something very interesting about the Chiefs wide receiver room. I want to talk to you guys about it. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Yep, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's gonna be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent fountain and frozen drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console or dig between your couch cushions, or ask Grandma for $1. Or just use your credit card. We take those too. 89-cent frozen and fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long.
Here we go.
Starting with a Week 1 NFC North rivalry between the Lions and Packers.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Kids are back in school, so schedule your project today. With Powell Exteriors KC Easy Financing, pay no interest until 2027. Whether a deck or new roof, go to PowellExteriorsKC.com now to schedule your free estimate. It's the power of KC. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exteriors experts.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at Depend.com.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then, add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Listen to the Royals and Twins this Friday on The Fan, AM 610, with Vern's on Deck Show, starting at 5:30. This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Let me remind you guys that Sports Talk on The Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays. With the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus, watch your local NFL game every Sunday on CBS, Paramount Plus, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get things going this season. I want to read to you guys a text that we got earlier in the show. Why we got this is we were talking about Hollywood Brown, and Hollywood said that he feels there is extra pressure on him to step up because Rashee Rice is out for this game due to suspension.
No, not really. I mean, we know what we could do. When guys go down, it's next man up. When I went down, it's next man up. And that's our mentality throughout the whole team. So for us, it's just doing what we do.
So that was Hollywood Brown. In fact, he said he doesn't feel the extra pressure. Let me correct myself there. I don't want to speak incorrectly of what his quote was. Someone texted in and said, C-Dot, I think that Juju is the most important player while Rice is out. He has to run the tough routes over the middle and move the chains. I don't want to start the season with negativity. Every team is 0-0. The Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, so I don't mean to come at this place from a negative place. I think that Juju is 100% done. 100%. I think he can maybe give you like 1 or 2 games that kind of matter. I'm not counting on Juju giving you a whole lot this season. Last year, for example, when the Chiefs desperately could have used Juju Smith-Schuster. Remember all the wide receiver injuries that they had last year? I mean, they essentially didn't have Rashee Rice for the final 4 months of the season. They didn't have Hollywood Brown for the first 4 months of the season. It was so bad the Chiefs had to go trade for DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if the Chiefs make that trade if they have a healthy, productive Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju had 2 games last season in which he had more than 35 yards receiving. He had 1 massive game against the Saints. He had 7 catches for 130 yards. He also played really well in their game against Buffalo. He had 2 catches for 60 yards. Those were the only 2 games last season in which he had more than 35 yards receiving. So I'm telling you, if you were counting on Juju to be this X factor, kind of pick up the slack while Rashee Rice is gone, where was that last year when Rashee Rice was gone? They didn't have that last year. If anything, the person I think you're talking about, I think that can be Tyquan Thornton. I think Thornton's got a chance to really fit and work in this offense. You started your career with New England. You didn't have a great offensive-minded head coach. You didn't have a great offensive coordinator. You didn't have a great quarterback. Like, sometimes where you get drafted is situational. You got drafted to a bad situation to be a young wide receiver is that New England offense that has been one of the most talent-depleted offenses in the last 5-6 years or so. You now get a chance for a rebirth in your career. You go to Kansas City. You're not going to be the focal point. You're not the second-round pick anymore with these massive expectations that have been placed on you. You can just go to Kansas City, fit in, and play ball. I think that Tyquan could potentially be that kind of guy. I just think it's over for Juju. That sounds bad to say for a player who is 28 years old, but I think Juju's body has completely given up since that year in Kansas City. I mean, that was a big-time year a couple of years ago. I mean, Juju had 933 yards receiving. Since then, since that season, so the season I'm talking about, they win the Super Bowl. He has the big play in the Super Bowl. You guys know what I'm talking about. Since then, Juju Smith-Schuster has had 490 yards receiving since then. So he is just not a guy that I'm counting on coming into this season. Maybe he has one game that just kind of pops up out of nowhere that just completely catches you off guard. But if you're counting on Juju to be a consistent, reliable, productive player for the Chiefs, I think you've made a mistake.
I guess it's important to note what done means, because I agree with you. If the version of done means that, hey, he's a guy that he'll probably have, 350 to 500 this year, and he's wide receiver 4, and maybe a game pops up where he's 9 for 76, but generally speaking, he is to this team what, he's like Noah Gray type of stats, maybe less than Noah Gray. Maybe that's the comparison. If those are your expectations, then I think you're in line. But I agree with you. If you are the texter, and we are responding to the texter who feels like Juju's going to be the one that steps up, then I think you're wrong, and I think you need to understand that his days of being a difference-making wideout are done. I think sometimes we have these arguments, and people just get caught in the semantics of it. Oh, you said washed. Here's what I think what. He's done if you think that he is a frontline receiver and going to be something that makes the Chiefs offense dynamic in Rice's absence.
I don't think he's a second-tier receiver anymore in the National Football League. I don't think he can be Demarcus Robinson anymore in the league. Someone on the text line says, you're high, C-Dot. Juju was going off in the first 3 games. No, he wasn't. In the first 3 games of last season, Juju Smith-Schuster had 17 yards receiving. He had 17 yards receiving in the first month of the season last year. He didn't have a catch against Baltimore. He didn't have a catch against Cincinnati. He had 17 yards against Atlanta, and he didn't have a catch against the Chargers. All of this stuff is on Google. No, he was not going off in the first 3 games of the season. Someone else says Juju was hurt. I think he'll do great this year as long as he stays healthy. I don't mean this with any disrespect towards Juju. I don't think that Juju can stay healthy. I just don't think he's a healthy player anymore in the league. I think sometimes a flaw that we have with players is we think that all of them are going to make it till they turn 30, 31 years old, and that's when they decline. I think that Juju has always been hurt in his career, and his body is just giving out earlier than other players. That contract that he signed with the with the Patriots, it was a bad contract. He then came back to Kansas City, and he's been a good veteran presence. He's a good guy to have on your team. I just don't think he's the guy that can help you pick up the slack. I really think that's Tyquan Thornton. I think you were either looking for Tyquan Thornton to be that guy, or you're looking for one of the other tight ends to be that player. You're looking at Robert Tonyan to be that guy. You're looking at Jared Wiley to be that player, or you're looking at Noah Gray. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's just not an offensive player that I would count on. I just don't know I don't know what, based on the last 2 seasons of playing football, I don't know what reason he has given you to think that in the next handful of games, the next 6 games, he can be a guy that gets you 40 or 50 yards consistently offensively. Again, he only had 2 of those games last season.
Who do you think has more left in their body? Because I'm about to name 2 guys who are nearing the end. Juju or DeAndre Hopkins? Because that's basically what the Chiefs had this offseason. I know the money's not 1-for-1, but it wasn't like D-Hop went and broke the bank with the Ravens, and Juju Smith-Schuster definitely didn't break the bank here. It's like 2 veteran wideouts that you think have very little left in their body. I would imagine most Chiefs fans, after watching last season, realized D-Hop doesn't have much of anything left. If you think D-Hop has more than Juju, that shows you how little Juju has left in his body.
I'll put a bet on it right now. I think that Brashard Smith has more receiving yards this season than Juju Smith-Schuster does. I'll put a bet on it right now. Last year, Juju had 231 yards receiving. He had fewer receivings than Samaje Perine did last year. I'll put a bet on it right now that he'll have fewer yards than Brashard Smith does. I'll take anybody's action if you want to make that bet right now with Juju Smith-Schuster.
I wouldn't take it, but only because I don't know how much Brashard is going to get run.
I think they're going to use him how they've used. I think they're going to use him how they've used that role. And that guy, that Jerick McKinnon, Samaje Perine role, that guy will have somewhere between 300 to 400 yards receiving this year. I think they really like Brashard Smith, and I don't think that they've really shown us all of what his role is going to be. He, to me, seems like one of those offensive players that the Chiefs have that he will be a much better asset for them later in the year than now. We see this happen with Chiefs rookie offensive players all the time. They get off to a really slow start in weeks 1 through 5. They have this game in week 6 in which they figure it out. He has 6 catches for 42 yards and a touchdown. And then that's kind of the jumping off point for his career to kind of get things going. I mean, the last 4 or 5 Chiefs pass catchers that have kind of figured it out, they've all followed that. That's how Tyreek got started. You remember his career of how it was. That's how he got going. That's how Xavier Worthy was. That's how Rashee Rice was. That's how McCole Hardman was. If you're somebody that they kind of find value for, you usually can expect that player to kind of figure it out close to Halloween, and then they'll be a very valuable member the rest of the way. That's what I think Brashard Smith is going to be. I think he's going to end up being that kind of player.
I think Smith, if I were legitimately running the handicapping on that bet, I think Smith is the smarter bet because I think Smith, as the season goes on, will get more and more run. But I think they're going to be pretty similar. I think it's 250 to 350 for either of them. And if you are a person on the text line right now taking Juju over Brashard Smith, you're going to be sweating that bet in week 16, 17, 100%.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely going to be sweating that bet. We can talk more about the Chiefs wide receiver room. Here is Andy Reid earlier today talking about the status of Hollywood Brown.
Look good out there. Run around and, he's getting the game and play. So, but as far as practice goes, he's done everything.
Yeah, that's the guy that I'm really looking for. If you were telling me over the next 6 weeks, who do the Chiefs need to step up? Who do they need to play well? Who's going to be the difference maker? It's Hollywood Brown. I don't think that we have ever seen the Chiefs at no point in this contract have they had healthy regular season or postseason Hollywood Brown. I know he's not 100% healthy now, but this is as close to 100% healthy that he's been at any time playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was coming off a significant injury in the later part of the season. I don't care how good of a player you are. It's hard to just be dropped in week 15 of the NFL season and be expected to be a big producer, and I think you can see that for them last year. He has been healthy for a majority so far of this offseason. If you were excited about Hollywood Brown coming into last season, if you were excited that the Chiefs brought Hollywood Brown back for another year and you think that he has a role in this offense, man, now's the time to show it. You got a healthy offensive line. You got Travis Kelce in the middle of the field. You got Xavier Worthy on the other side. You got Isaiah Pacheco back. You're not asking Hollywood to go out and be a savior for you offensively. Can you be that guy we're talking about? Can he have 5 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown on Friday night? I think he can be that player. That's what you signed him to be. That was the expectation when you signed him from the free agent contract, leaving the Arizona Cardinals. We got Vern coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll talk a little bit of Royals baseball. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Catch Hall of Famer Denny Matthews every Monday at 3.
And gone, Bobby Witt.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
This Royal season, it's fountains up, it's batters up, adrenaline up, intensity up. And when the Royals battle the Mariners on Tuesday, September 16th, it's time to lift your hounds up, your terriers up, your spaniels, shepherds, retrievers, and mutts up. Harness up for Bark at the Park, presented by Underdog. Bring your 4-legged fans to the K and take home the mystery Hot Dog Derby plush with the purchase of a theme ticket. Tickets at royals.com/bark.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Talk to McGann Asphalt and Concrete. You've got a crash 35 northbound on the ramp to 18th Street. Left lane is blocked down south. Still working these stalls. 435 westbound at 103rd and K10 eastbound at 435. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Coming up in just a bit, we are going to be joined by Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. It is still baseball season. The Royals are just 2.5 games back of the third wild card spot. They have a very, very winnable series at home against the Los Angeles Angels. I'm heading to the game later today. Rob, you know I love a good Tuesday Buck night. You know that. If they got a game on Tuesday and it's good weather outside, you can count on me being out there at Kauffman Stadium. So I will be there today. We'll see if the Royals win. They have a home series against the Angels. I don't even know who's pitching today for the Royals. Who's on the mound today for the Royals?
Michael Lorenzen.
Okay, they got a chance then to win that game. Hopefully they don't got Seth Lugo out there. You know, he be getting beat around.
You've gone to more Tuesday dollar dog nights than Cole Reagan's has starts this year.
I mean, I wish the Royals just had a season ticket package that only included the Tuesday games. I would just buy that package. That's the one I need to go to. I go to the Tuesday games and the important games. Like, they got a Friday, you know, Cole Reagan's going up against. Yeah, I'll be at that game. Jack Caglione, which happened to be on a Tuesday. I'll be at those games. But, like, if I'm thinking about going on a Wednesday, why wouldn't I just go the day before? The hot dogs are $1. Sign me up.
That Tuesday they play the Mariners. Oh, you're going to have a time. It's when the two worlds collide.
I already have my tickets. What are you talking about? I already got my tickets. I already asked for those. I asked for those weeks ago. Please give me those tickets. I can't wait. I got that whole series already wrapped up. I can't wait to be at Royals and Mariners. Can you answer this question for me? Text line, maybe you guys can answer this question for me. I know that you guys would never, ever challenge the infinite wisdom of Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs. They can do no wrong, and I understand that. Why is Mike Pennell not on this team? Can you help me understand the roster construction part of it? I mean, this is a guy that has played very valuable snaps for you, was just running with the ones. He's great in the locker room. He's not making any money. Can you answer to me why they let Mike Pennell go? Because I still don't really have a good answer. I mean, I've heard Brett Veach explain it. It doesn't really make any sense to me. That's a good rotational piece for you that fits your team, that fits your lineup. I don't really understand why we let Mike Pennell. Why do we let him just go play for the Bengals? I don't understand.
Now, it's possible I am taking the party line here, but is the answer to the question that Omar Norman Lott's ahead of schedule? Like, if Omar Norman Lott is the player they think he is, and they drafted him in the second round, they think he's a player. They don't think he's some rotational, hey, we found something kind of nice in the 6th round. They used a premium draft pick on defensive tackle. If Omar Norman Lott is up to speed, ready to go, healthy, 100%, all the stuff, then yeah, it makes sense to move on from Mike Pennell. That's the only logic I have, because if Omar Norman Lott isn't up to par yet, then you should have kept Mike Pennell. But I think the answer to your question is Omar Norman Lott and his development, and they think he's ready. And it's go time now. You're 3 days away. Time to prove if you are or aren't ready. Because I know this. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, they're going to run the ball. So let's see if he can be a Mike Pennell type of run stuffer.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they just spent the 1st-round pick on a running back, Omarion Hampton. I think he's going to be – you remember, he was one of the running backs I really liked coming out of college. I'm not sure if Najee Harris is going to play. Are we certain? Is Najee Harris going to play? I know he had the little firework injury, but he's back to practice. I don't know if they got him like a Slick Rick eye patch. I don't know what the plan is for him. Do we know if Najee Harris is playing? Fantasy football people, do you know if Najee is playing?
I have not seen an official stance on Najee playing or not.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Do you know a fun fact about Najee Harris, though? He
rapped Trap Queen?
He once was a verbal commit to Kansas.
Oh, okay, here you go. I thought you were going to tell me.
A lot of people are talking about it.
I thought you were going to tell me
he was the... A lot of people are talking about it.
He had My Way featuring Drake. That's what I thought you were about to tell me.
It is probably the top story around Najee Harris. His eye, nope. His health, He once committed verbally to Kansas. David Beatty, Kansas, too. People forget about that.
I know we got Vern coming up here in a little bit. I wish you had been here on Friday when we talked about this and the text line wasn't working, so I couldn't get a clear answer. So now we can talk about this for a little bit, and then we'll move forward. I promise we won't spend a lot of time on this. You play fantasy football, right, Rob?
I do. I had my draft over the weekend.
How do you guys handle the financial portion of things? So I'm guessing you're playing it for money. Like, we're not just playing it to play it, you know? I'm playing fantasy football. I'm taking this time out of my life, my day, when I could be doing other things, and I have invested it into playing fantasy football. I put my 50 up, you put your 50 up. Maybe you play for more stakes, lesser stakes, whatever it is. Are you guys collecting that money before you play? Are you getting it on the back half? Because one of the most challenging things in life to me seems like you got to track down your Uncle Bill for a $200 buy-in when he is the owner of a 3-7 fantasy football team. It just seems like that's just a hassle that I don't really want in my life. Bill, Unc, you know you owe me this money. Why do I got to now go through channels? I got to ask your wife. Now it's got to be some friction between you and I at the Thanksgiving function because you haven't sent in your dues for playing fantasy football. How do you guys handle the money? I genuinely want to know. 913-586-7965. You guys know I don't play fantasy football. One of the reasons I don't play fantasy football would be this. Just pay your money from the very, very beginning of the season. But I'm guessing, I'm going out on a limb. Every year, there's one or two guys that are in your fantasy league that you got to really hunt them and track them down. You got to turn into Liam Neeson and just get your money back. How do you guys handle this?
So I can't speak for everyone's league, but I will speak for mine personally. And I'm going to credit my league commissioner here because I like the way he does this. I like the way we handle things. I'm sure the text line will say that it's a bad system or whatever. So be it. I like what my commissioner does. If you don't pay your entry fee by draft time, he doesn't unlock your team and let you into the draft. It's that simple. You're basically not in the league that year. So if we have a league of 14. If 4 people don't get their league dues paid by game time, suddenly it's a 10-person league. That simple. You ain't in. You are either paying the penalty or you're not in at all. Now, I believe, and I've never been late, you can pay a fine and be in later after the draft or as the draft is starting, whatever have you. But it's pretty simple. Your team remains iced out until you've paid me my money. So Venmo, check, PayPal, Courier, however you get it done, you ain't playing in our league unless you get your payment in by draft time.
Okay, so you're saying is I'm seeing a lot of other people. All my leagues, they pay before the draft. I'm the commissioner. We have a rule. You don't pay, you don't play. So a lot of people, that's the stance you guys are taking. All right, I don't know how this works. I'm just trying to make sure because that's the rule that I would have. Hey, man, come on now. Like, why are we doing this? I'm not chasing you down. This person here said they do late fees. They got their fantasy football league like Blockbuster. They got like Hollywood Video. Everybody pays the site instead of a person or the commish. You can even add late fees or lock rosters if fees are late or unpaid. That's the thing. I got to reach a business agreement with my 12 friends and family. That's what I'm saying. Now, let's handle this from the beginning. I don't want to do this. Listen to this. I never heard this before. Me and my friends collect at the start of the season. We invested into Bitcoin. Then the winner gets it all, and the second place gets their money back. And I need to be in y'all league. Y'all forward thinking over there in that league. How much is your league, Rob, if you mind me asking how much it is to buy into your league?
We're a 50 a pop league.
How many teams you got? 8, 12?
14.
14. I'm serious in there.
Mm-hmm.
How's your draft? How'd you do?
I felt good about my draft, which is the kiss of death.
Okay, well, yeah, you're done. You're cooked. Then.
It was actually kind of funny. Yesterday, I was doing my draft, sitting there, my wife's watching TV. She's like, how's the draft going? I'm like, I love my team. I'm screwed.
Yeah, no.
There's no way around it. Yeah. It's like, I know you don't do brackets, but like your Selection Sunday comes out, you make your picks. You're like, God, I feel really good about my bracket this year. You know that thing's in shambles in 5 minutes. Don't even enjoy it. I walked away. I got Jamar Chase without having to waste number 1 overall pick to do it. I felt incredible about it. And then I know I'm going to come in 14th. I know the punishment's coming.
Well, good luck to you. I'm pulling for you, my brother. I certainly want you to do well. Coming up in a little bit, Vern is going to join us on the show. There is one thing that I can 100% guarantee for Friday. I don't know who's going to win. I'm telling you that I have already taken the Chiefs -3. So I can only tell you what I've done. I've taken the Chiefs -3, and I took Isaiah Pacheco for an anytime touchdown. I think they're going to try to run the ball and establish him and get him back and get him feeling good about himself. So I took Isaiah Pacheco to score, and I took them -3. But the Chiefs could lose, right? I mean, the Chargers are a double-digit win football team, and anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. It's football. If there's one thing I am 100% certain will happen, it's that the field will be absolute crap on Friday. You know it, and I know it. There is no debating this. There is no question that the field will be an issue for both teams on Friday. We have this little board in our office where every segment is mapped out. And then we have another board that, this is the day that Mahomes plays. Like we have 2 boards to let you know what to plan for. So we kind of build the show that way. I have already written down 2:45 on Monday, complain about the field, because I already know it's going to be an issue. That's a segment that's already done. It's in the books. I've already just go ahead and I've already done the homework when it comes to that segment. I don't even got to see the game. I can't wait to complain about player safety on Friday at 2:45 because we know the field isn't going to be in good condition. How do they keep pulling this on us? How many times do they go over and play these international games on these soccer fields and they're not nearly in the condition that they need to be to play an NFL football game? And you got over $1 billion worth of players and contracts on this field, running and jumping and cutting and doing all of these things, and you got them playing on a 3 out of 10 grade quality field. We already know that's going to be the case. We already know.
Wasn't it really bad last year, too? I remember
that's
Jordan Love. Yeah.
That's how Jordan Love got hurt last year. That's exactly how Jordan Love got hurt. I'm telling you right now, you already know. I'm telling you. You already know. I'm serious. Text line 913-586-7965. You know that I'm right. There's one thing we can go ahead and pencil down. Pencil it. We will complain about the field on Monday because it will be an absolute terrible condition. That is the one standard when it comes to all of these games that are played internationally. Let's go to Kauffman Stadium right now to be joined by our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show today. Vern, how you doing, man?
I'm very well. How are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Happy to have you on the show. I know the Royals lost the weekend series against the Detroit Tigers, but if you look at the standings, they actually gained a little bit of ground. They are now 2.5 games back of the third wild card spot.
Yeah. 25 to play, 2.5 back. Certainly not ideal, but you'll take it for the hole that they dug themselves in the month of June. So the fact that they're here, I think, speaks to just how great the rotation was in the first half of the season and speaks to just how deep the lineup has been since the All-Star break.
I mean, we've been talking this entire time about Seattle and the Royals catching up to them, and that certainly is still part of the conversation. They have that series coming up in just a couple of weeks against them. But now, fast forward, the Texas Rangers are now a team that we need to worry about. They've won, I believe, their last 5 games. They are now very much in this mix of who's going to grab it. It looks like right now we're talking about 3 teams fighting for one spot.
Yeah, sure. To me, the Rangers have already lost their ace in Nate Eovaldi. They've put Corey Seager and Marcus Semien on the IL. No doubt they're battling, but I don't think they have enough to track down the Seattle Mariners. They have a terrific manager, of course, a Hall of Famer in Bruce Bochy, who's going to work his magic. And, I'm impressed the fact that they've been able to rattle off 6 straight wins and now find themselves a full game in front of the Royals. But no, I'm not a believer in the Rangers. To me, Seattle's the team. Seattle is, well, if I'm being honest, nobody deserves a third wild card spot. There shouldn't be a third wild card spot, but Seattle is clearly the best of the bunch. But anything can happen in baseball. Maybe the Royals can get red hot and, be that team that we see every single season celebrating inside the clubhouse after they knock off a division champion, and they're doing the post-game interview talking about how we've been playing playoff baseball for a month and a half now. This is nothing new for us. That's what it's going to take. The Royals need to be the hottest team in baseball from here on out if they're going to play more baseball into October.
I don't think that this story gets nearly enough conversation. I think that's just largely because of the sport. I mean, we are talking about a franchise that at one point had Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols all on the team at the exact same time, and Mike Trout has played in 3 postseason games in his entire career. There has not been a franchise in American sports that has squandered the talent more than the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. I think it's impossible to argue with that, and that, to me, shows the value of pitching, right? You can have 2 of the 5 greatest players since the turn of the century and have nothing to show for it. And sure, I mean, I'm not even talking about Pujols. That was just Trout and Ohtani. You want to throw in what Pujols was while he was with the Halos, and yeah. But I mean, you know it. So we all know it. That's what made it so puzzling, was how do you not put a quality pitching staff around Mike Trout? Okay, it's difficult to draft and develop. You're in Los Angeles. Go throw some money around. Now, they did when you talk about C.J. Wilson, but that was like 12 years ago. When was the last time the Angels made a big splash when it comes to free agent pitching? Maybe it's not a desirable. How is it not a desirable place? It's Southern California. No, it's been an all-time fumble by Moreno and the rest of that organization.
It also just doesn't make any sense, because as somebody who has been to Los Angeles and I've seen their stadium, haven't been to a game, but I've seen it from the outside, it's like 10 minutes from Disney World. Right, that's what just makes our Disneyland. That's what just makes absolutely no sense about it. Like, it is across the street from the most popular family place. Like, you can't sell anybody on the, hey, the weather's good, we'll pay you well, and hey, why don't you come spend time with your family? Like, their failures over the last decade, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I'm with you. And yeah, all the native Californians that ultimately make it to the big leagues, you would imagine you could entice a few of them to come back home. And yeah, you're the little brother. Are you Anaheim? Are you Los Angeles? All we know is you're not the Dodgers. Okay, that's fine. The Mets aren't the Yankees, and they throw money around like it's going out of style. They compete. And, to bring it back to the Royals, I think that's what we've enjoyed most about this new era under John Sherman, is that they refuse to wave the white flag. They are competing consistently. You had the evaluation season of 2023, but once you inked Bobby Witt Jr., it's been foot on the gas pedal ever since, and I have to imagine that's going to continue until Bobby, if he does ever leave, that's the only way this team ever retreats, in my opinion.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider for a couple of more minutes. The Royals are 2.5 games back in the third wild card spot. Looking to tonight's game, looking to some of the roster moves that the Royals have made. The Royals have called up Carter Jensen, the local hometown kid, also Jack Caglione back. What do you see their role being for the Royals as we head into September?
Yeah, I see Carter Jensen as a third catcher, really. Maybe a late game option. I don't think you're going to see his name in the starting lineup all that often. Jack Caglione, I think you'll see a little bit more often in the starting lineup than you will Jensen, but Mike Yastrzemski is going to get his shots against lefties moving forward. I think he's earned that. Adam Frazier, same thing for him. Jack Caglione plays first base or right field. Mike Yastrzemski is going to be damn near your everyday right fielder. Vinny Pasquantino, your everyday first baseman. So, Jack will be able to mix in there as the designated hitter on occasion. And as far as Carter Jensen, when Salvi's not behind the dish, I think you're going to see Luke Maile. But if you have both of them in the lineup and you end up pinch running for one of them late in the game, that's how I think we see Carter Jensen behind the dish. But great experience. You were going to need to add him to the 40-man roster this offseason anyway. The Kansas City kid, the Park Hill High School native coming home. Not in the lineup tonight. Neither is Jack Caglione. As a matter of fact, Jensen on his way to catch a bullpen right now. We'll have a chance to talk with him coming up a little bit later, and you'll hear that conversation on the pregame show tonight at 5:30.
Vern, I'll give you $5 if you tell me where Park Hill High School is.
Northland.
Okay, all right. You got to send me your Venmo. I didn't know what your answer was going to be. I had no clue how you were going to answer that question.
Man, that's like the one spot in this entire city that I would have gotten correct just because Carter Jensen went there. And I think Jay Binkley probably let me know that because, Bink reps the Northland.
This kind of feels to me like an old school college football season from this. You remember how it was back in 1994. Like, there was no margin for error. Like, if you lose this game, your entire season is over. This feels like one of those series where you just can't tell me you're a playoff team if you lose a home series to the Los Angeles Angels. Like, it is so much about keeping up with the other team. This is a big week for the Royals. You got 3 games at home against the Angels. You got 3 games at home against the Twins. You got to go 4-2, 5-1 at a minimum to keep this dream alive.
Yeah, and 4-2 really feels like you're just kicking the can down the road, and it's just going to be more of the same. And this team is what we thought they were, which is at times the squad we thought we were going to see in 2025, and at times the team that forces you to pull your hair out. Yeah, I mean, you got to start sweeping someone, right? We're running out of time. We got less than 4 weeks left in the season, 25 games to go. You have the Phillies and the Guardians and the Mariners and some the Toronto Blue Jays coming up. Man, if you're not handling the Angels and the Twins, and I don't care who they're throwing against you, right? Twins, you're going to see Joe Ryan. You're going to see some quality arms. This Angels team and this Angels rotation's all sorts of beat up tonight. C-Dot, it's a 24-year-old that's skipping over AAA. He's a soft-tossing lefty making his big league debut tonight. How does that hit the ears?
Who had a worse weekend, Arch Manning or Jordan Hudson?
Arch Manning. Yeah. Arch Manning, man. He is I didn't watch much of it, but I haven't heard anybody say anything nice about that young man.
That is our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show. The Royals, they have a game today against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. You can hear that right here on 96.5 The Fan. Vern, we usually have you on Friday. I think you understand why you will not be on the show this Friday, but I look forward to catching up with you after this homestand is over.
Hashtag Talk Chiefs.
Absolutely. That is our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about Bill Belichick. Boy, was last night rough. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Pro football season kicks off in a few days. Let's take a look at the prices to win the AFC. Baltimore and Buffalo, the co-favorites at plus 340. Kansas City at plus 425. Now, coming into the year, you can make the case that Baltimore and Buffalo are both better in terms of a full roster than Kansas City. But Kansas City's quarterback is obviously nails when it matters the most. And the question you have to ask yourself, if you like Baltimore or Buffalo, do you think they can take down Kansas City in January? I don't. I still like Kansas City to win the AFC, plus 425. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and take your game to the next level with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all our inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
What matters to you matters to us. That's why Busey Bank takes the time to understand your goals and build solutions that fit your story. From everyday banking to long-term planning, our team is here to help you navigate every stage with care and expertise. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor, your advisor, and your advocate. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business, and the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know, and they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus packs which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
After 40 years and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter is your go-to company for home service needs. Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Tonight, expect a mostly clear night with a low of 63.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions. We've got a stall 35 northbound just past 7th. It is the right lane blocked. Down south, that's a stall 435 westbound at 103rd in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the AFC and get you ready for Friday's game between the Chiefs and the Chargers. I think what we're going to do at the end of hours is just give you some of my thoughts from college football from this past weekend. You know what? I have to admit something to you guys that I flip-flopped on you without really a notice. All summer, I had picked Clemson to win against LSU. And as I was sitting there on the FanDuel app on Saturday, deciding what I wanted to do if I wanted to place a bet down, I was like, you know what? Let me look something up. I wanted to look at the last handful of games from Clemson against teams outside of their conference. Because my feeling was, I don't know, man. I'm starting to have a hunch. So I looked this up. Since Clemson last won the national championship in their last 8 games against ranked opponents outside of the ACC, they had lost. And then I started really thinking. I was like, well, who do I think is the better team? I think LSU's better than them, and I'm only picking Clemson because they're at home. I can't do that. And in that moment, I switched my pick, and I picked LSU to win the game. Now, I'm not here to pat myself on the back that I got it right. You're going to get some right. You're going to get things wrong. But I noticed a couple of things on Saturday. Clemson is not the Clemson that you or I remember anymore. Ranked preseason top 5, able to stand up and hold their own against any team in the sport. That's not the Clemson that we have anymore. Lost on Saturday at home to LSU. Go back to last season, got blown out in the season opener by Georgia. Lost at the end of the season in South Carolina. Lost in the first round of the college football playoff. When Clemson plays teams outside of the ACC and non-basketball schools, because that's what they do. Right now, they're good for beating up on basketball schools. Louisville, NC State, Wake Forest, Duke, North Carolina. When they play those teams, man, Clemson looks like the big bad bully that we remember for that 7-year run or so. When they've played anybody else outside of that, that's just not who they've been. And that moment, I had a change of heart when it came to LSU and just what Clemson has turned into. The other thing that I thought is, I don't see what they want me to see with Cade Klubnik. If you go on a lot of these mock drafts and predictions, I mean, number one, you got to scroll past Arch Manning. I'm here telling you that kid, he ain't a top 10 pick yet. He might be a top 10 pick next year, but right for this upcoming draft, in the 2026 draft, wherever it's going to be held, I don't think Arch Manning needs to be participating. I think he should stay in college and season his game for as long as he can. But I'm guessing you would see Cade Klubnik's name on that list. I don't see what they want me to see. The same way I'm talking about how Clemson hasn't played well against those top flight competitions, and neither really as he. He completed 50% of his passes on Saturday. And Rob, you know I'm really big on completion percentage. They had 3 consecutive drives where you got to get points. You got to get back on the board. Clemson didn't score on any of those drives. I'm telling you that a lot of people are going to try to tell you that Cade Klubnik is a first-round pick. I wouldn't listen to those people. He's a day 2, day 3 selection. That's how it comes off to me. I have never seen what they want me to see. Now, Garrett Nussmeier, I think he has to be considered to be the favorite to be the number 1 overall pick. That was a big-time drive that he put together. On the road, in Death Valley, heading into the fourth quarter, tie ball game. I got to put together one drive to put my team in a position to win, and I thought he answered the call and made plays every single time. So I came away really impressed with LSU. I think they deserve to be the third-ranked team in college football if you care about rankings this early on. And I think they have to be considered as the early favorite in the SEC. You want to take them, you want to take Georgia, you take your pick. We obviously got a lot more college football to get to. Let's talk about Bill Belichick. Oh, boy. I don't care what you do in your free time. I really don't care what you do in your free time. He and Jordan Hudson are not hurting anybody. They seem to be two people that love each other. And again, they're not really bothering me. They're not really bothering you. But you guys know my philosophy. I follow the Roy Williams school of thought. You can do whatever dunk you want on fast breaks as long as you make it. If you want to do a throw it off the backboard, shot clock, 360, 720 between the legs around, I don't care. Just make it. And if you make the dunk, great. The place is going to go crazy. If you miss or the ball slips out of your hand, you don't got to worry about it because you're going to be sitting next to me for the rest of the game. I don't care what Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick do. You are two consenting adults. If you want to sit there and watch Love Island with this young girl and paint her toenails and she tells you stories you don't care about from her friends on Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok, have at it. You're able to do that. But now you're messing up the money. They got embarrassed on Monday night. Embarrassed on Monday night. Everybody is now making fun of you. TCU, you know how bad it's got to be for TCU's social media page to be dog walking you for hours the way that they were? Everybody getting their jokes off about you and your relationship. At one point, I saw a tweet that said when the score was 41-7, it read, ironically, this was Bill Belichick's age when Jordan Hudson was 7 years old. The rest of us are making fun of you. The Jordan Hudson thing, it really goes how this experiment goes. If North Carolina wins 9-10 games this year, it'll be like a ha-ha, funny. If they end up going 4-8 or 3-9 this year, and they end up being a laughingstock, an embarrassing program because of Bill Belichick, and he looks unfocused, disorganized, that was the thing that really jumped out to me. They just didn't seem prepared. And if there's one thing that you can always say about North Carolina, or excuse me, about Bill Belichick coach teams is they always just seem to out-execute their opponents. Once they got past their first 15 plays, it was God knows what was going on. So, Bill, I'm here to tell you, you better tighten up. Because if you want to start having some uncomfortable conversations about Bill Belichick, those uncomfortable conversations are right around the corner about his coaching resume. I've seen Andy Reid do it with multiple quarterbacks. I've seen him do it with McNabb. I've seen him do it with Alex Smith. I've seen him do it with Mahomes. I've seen him do it with a bunch of different individuals. I ain't never seen Bill do that before. And if Bill is about to have a 3-9 on his resume as the head coach in North Carolina, oh, I'm telling you right now, you can already see a resignation due to health issues. You can see that already loading up if this thing doesn't go well. It could not have gone worse for a team than it went for North Carolina on Monday. I mean, an absolute beatdown. And we already know the internet, they were sharpening their knives. They can't wait to make fun of you. And when you go out there and you lay an egg like that in front of a who's who, anybody who was graduated from North Carolina was at that game. They got Michael Jordan out to a football game. They had Mia Hamm out there. If you graduated from North Carolina, they had you on the sideline. Mike ain't donating to that nonsense. Bill, I'm telling you, good luck, man. That's what I'm here to tell you. Good luck. Can you imagine? I'm sorry. Bill was 41 when she was 7 years old. Some of you right now, you're in your early 40s and you have a 7-year-old kid. Can you imagine if I told you, hey, one day you're going to date one of her friends? You would look at me like I'm sick. That's what Bill Belichick is doing. That's crazy. Nuts. Yes. Hey, that little 7-year-old girl that come over for play dates, hey, in about 20 years, you and her are going to be romantically involved with each other. You look at me like I was crazy. That's what Bill's currently engaged in. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Coming up on the other side, let's get back to the Chiefs. We'll talk about the AFC with the Chiefs having an important AFC West matchup against the Chargers. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Park and Go. You've got a stall 635 southbound before Shawnee Drive. The right lane is blocked and headed into downtown. Still a problem. 35 northbound past 7th. Stall in the right lane from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center in Val. 96.5 The Fan.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. It's the latest genius invention from Skechers, the comfort technology company. With Find My Skechers, there's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. You just pull up the insole and pop in the AirTag. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel it or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Imagine that, just one look at the phone and you can see where your kids' shoes are. No more wondering or worrying. It's as easy as that. Plus, they're machine washable and durable, so they're long lasting. And Find My Skechers are available for boys and girls. Look, we all know Skechers is famous for comfort, and now they're giving us comfort of mind when it comes to our kids. Get Find My Skechers, Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTag sold separately.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park and Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park and Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and fan approved.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The last blast of summer, the last home series, the last Let's Go Royals, the last Hot Dog Derby, the last 2015 Champs bobblehead, the last Fireworks Friday, the last Bring Out the Blue t-shirt, the last Theme Night bobblehead, the last chance to see your boys in blue in person in the 2025 regular season. It's Royals Blue Jays, Friday through Sunday, September 19th through the 21st. The last thing you want to do is miss it. Visit Royals.com/tickets.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
This is Danon Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. B.G. Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Training camp in St. Joe is over. And you know, they don't just call it training camp. They're actually training for the skills they'll have to use all season long.
And you know who else trains that way? Centric Training, except without the shoulder pads and the helmet.
They'll train you on the exact job skills you'll need to be a cybersecurity specialist, and they'll do it in just 4 months, not 4 years.
Get started today, and you can be in your new career before the playoffs even start. Reach out to our friend Russ. Go to Centric.com.
Kids are back in school, so schedule your project today. With Powell Exteriors KC Easy Financing, pay no interest until 2027. Whether a deck or new roof, go to PowellExteriorsKC.com now to schedule your free estimate. It's the power of KC. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exteriors experts.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest, we believe.
Listen to K-State versus Army this Saturday on The Fan, AM 610, with pregame at 4 and kickoff at 6. This is your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I promise you we'll get back to sports coming up momentarily, and I'm going to tie this all together. I've been watching a lot of documentaries since I'm in the process of making another one. It's called Armageddon at Arrowhead. It's about the 2007 game between Missouri and Kansas. You can go see it at Screenland Armor starting September 24th. Rob, have you seen this most recent Netflix documentary about the high school girl and the catfish? Have you seen this on your...
Yes. Oh, my God, yes. I saw this.
One of the craziest plot twists that I've ever seen.
So I'm not going to ruin it. The end...
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to ruin it for anybody. I'm just telling you, you know, Netflix documentaries, they got a way of just like blowing your mind that you're like, oh my goodness. I never seen anything like this, ever. Not one time. I just had to share that with somebody. I don't know why I had that written down. I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. There's not a lot left time in the show to talk about it. If you haven't seen it, please, because I know you're going to get busy here over the next couple of days. There's football on Thursday. There's football on Friday. MU and KU play on Saturday. We're all going to be very busy these next couple of days. This Netflix documentary, I'm telling you, it's nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
I audibly screamed at the television at the end. Like that, I'm not trying to overhype the twist. At the end, I was like, what? The entire time. Go watch it.
Yeah, mine was no. No. I was like, no chance. No, you're lying to me. I didn't even believe it. Even when they gave me the evidence, I still didn't believe it. Didn't really make any sense. That's a side note from what we're talking about. The only reason I was thinking about that is because the Los Angeles Chargers, I think they have proven to be a catfish. I've fallen for the catfish with the Los Angeles Chargers. You guys will never let me live that down. I'd like to think that I've done some pretty cool things in my career. You know, I like to think that I've had a lot of success here and plan on having more success. You guys will never let me live down the one time I picked the Chargers in the division because I got catfished. That's what happened. I got catfished by the Chargers. Can you at least not see how you fall for it? Can you at least not see how? I mean, they got a good quarterback. They score a lot of points. I mean, you can see how someone can get catfished by the Los Angeles Chargers. They run the same scheme every single year. But I've told myself this time, no. I will not fall for it. Not at all. I will not fall victim to this latest scam that they are going to run. People on the text line are asking, what's the name of the documentary? I believe it's called Unknown Number. That's what it is. Unknown Number is the name of it. Just go on Netflix. It's, you know how they always tell you like what's trending. You'll see it at the top of your Netflix screen if you go on the app. I think there's 3 questions in the AFC. And we will have these questions, I think for the most part, answered in the first month of the season. That's the way the Chiefs' schedule lines up. The Chiefs don't play a schedule where there's going to be no one in week 4 after watching the Chiefs. Like, man, the Chiefs haven't really played anybody. I mean, think about who the Chiefs' opponents are. The Chiefs play a playoff team from last year in their division that people think is the second best team in the division. At least they were last year with a very solid head coach, a capable quarterback. This is the legitimate week 1 test for both teams. The second game of the season, they play the one team that they do not match up well against, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, the one team that looks like they have their number in the entire rest of the league. Week 3, they play the Giants. Now, I don't think the Giants are going to be very good, but it's also a team in New York, so that always comes with a certain hype and a certain buzz. A team that has a very, very good defensive line that can get after the other team's quarterback. And then the last game of the month, they play the Baltimore Ravens, who people think could go to the Super Bowl this year. So there will be no one who has questions about the Chiefs after the first month of the season if, with a rookie left tackle and inexperienced left guard, your number one wide receiver out for all 4 of those games. If the Chiefs are 3-1 after the first month of the season, I would say that they have answered the biggest question in the AFC. Are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? Now, I know you guys hate this analogy. You hate when people bring this up, but it happened. We have never seen a championship-level team like the Chiefs get knocked out like that in front of everybody. Mike Tyson, for as great of a fighter he was never the same after he lost to Buster Douglas. After we saw that the big bad hero was invincible, he never was the same champion again. We saw the Chiefs get knocked out in front of everybody. I'm really curious to see how the Chiefs respond to that, especially because the team that knocked you out is on the schedule in the early part of the season. Like, the Chiefs aren't that much different than the team that got knocked out. Like, they have returned a lot of those same pieces. So you have to at least be in the back of your mind wondering, man, how are the Chiefs going to respond to how their season ended? So much of last season was about the three-peat and the chase for immortality and being the greatest dynasty of all time. That is all over now. Now it is can we get back to the Super Bowl? So that's just a big storyline for the first part of the season is, are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? And I'm happy that we'll get that answer early on. If the Chiefs go 3-1 in the first month of the season, I don't want to hear about hangover or any of those things. The conversation is done. If you beat Philadelphia, you beat Baltimore, and you beat the Chargers in week 1, I don't want to hear about, no, they're the Chiefs. They've always been the Chiefs. So that's number 1. Number 2, eventually, I don't know when this is going to be, you would think that Buffalo or Baltimore, one of those teams, win. I've been watching this Cowboys documentary. I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately. Eventually, San Francisco beat the Cowboys. Now, they only beat them the one time. Steve Young only has the one championship. But eventually, the 49ers beat the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys got 3 championships out of it, and we remember them more fondly than we do the Niners in the 90s. But eventually, they got their moment in the sun. I don't know if Buffalo and Baltimore get moments in the sun, but NFL history tells you that one of those teams will eventually get it. When is that? Is that in 2026? Is it in 2027, 2028? I don't know when the Chiefs' run, I guess, ends in this context. But is Baltimore and or Buffalo ready to take that next step? They have been very close, knocking on the door for the last 4 years. And neither one of those teams have been able to walk through. They've come really, really close. And every single time the Chiefs slam the door in their face and laugh at them for them even thinking and entertaining the possibility of them beating Kansas City in a game that really, really matters. I'm not talking about a Week 11 game on CBS. I'm talking about the Week 20 game on CBS, and they don't win those games. So, number 1, are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? We'll see. Is Buffalo or Baltimore ready to take that next step? I know it'll be very early on in the season, but Kansas City plays one of these teams early on in the season. Buffalo and Baltimore play each other week 1 of the NFL season. Baltimore plays both of these teams in the first 4 weeks of the season. Baltimore opens up the season against Buffalo. They also open up the season against Kansas City. If Baltimore wins both of those games, people will talk about them like they are the favorite in the AFC. Even though it's early in the season and you got to prove it in late January and you got to prove it in February, if Baltimore goes on the road and wins in Buffalo and in Kansas City, people will consider them to be the favorites in the AFC. And then the last question is anybody going to come close? I think we all know about those 3 teams. Everybody is picking those 3 teams to make the postseason. I don't know anybody that has Buffalo missing the postseason or Baltimore missing the postseason because that's not realistic to me if those teams keep their quarterback the entire season. But I think the question is there anybody else that's going to enter this conversation? Is Denver, good enough to enter this conversation. Is Pittsburgh going to be good enough for us to be talking about them late? Can the Chargers figure things out? What about Houston? Is there a surprise team that we don't know about? What about Cincinnati? A couple of years ago, they were in this conversation. They were not in this conversation in the last 2 years. It's impossible to be in this conversation if you keep missing the postseason the way that they have. And if they miss the postseason this year 3 straight times after they've paid everybody, Zach Taylor, he'll be the offensive coordinator for Alabama is where he'll be at the end of this thing. So that's what I think we're talking about as we are heading into week 1 of the NFL season. Are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? Buffalo and Baltimore, are they ready to take the next step? Like, you guys just don't believe it. And I get it. If you keep beating a team every time in January, at some point, seeing is believing. So it doesn't matter what Buffalo says or does. Same thing for Baltimore. You, the Chiefs fan, you will never believe it until you absolutely see it. And they got to do it. They got to prove it. I was born and raised in the show me state. You might not have been, but you feel the same sentiment. You got to show us that you're better than Kansas City. And that's not in a week 4 game. You got to show us late in the season in January, because Mahomes has shown you every time that he will figure out a way to win. And we have spent this entire time talking about 3 teams. None of these other teams have given you a reason to consider them. Who can that team potentially be? Or is this going to be the same season that we've had? This comes down to who gets the 1 seed, who gets to play the AFC South winner in the second game of the postseason, and then who gets the home game between Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. Or is there going to be another team that crashes the party? Usually in the NFL, there's somebody else that crashes the party. Can that team potentially emerge? We can take your phone calls on this. We can read your text if you would like. We are heading into week 1 of the NFL season. We are days away from Cowboys and Eagles, and also Chiefs and Chargers. Keep it right here, so drive.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey guys, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive. Summer is officially here, and that means the sun is out and the grill is hot and life is calling you. But what if you're just not feeling it? Low energy, brain fog, maybe you have no drive. It might not just be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Heartland Men's Health, they know what you're going through, and they know exactly how to help. Low T can lead to poor sleep, weight gain, low sex drive, and zero motivation, but it doesn't have to be that way. Do you know what the first step is? It's taking the free Low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com. It only takes 2 minutes. Then schedule your $99 consult. That includes lab work and a full medical review. And if your treatment starts that day, that means your visit is on the house. Don't wait. Heartland Men's Health is changing lives in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Call this number, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. That one phone call can change your life, can change your summer. So get back to feeling like yourself. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today.
Save up to $4,500 with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter, thanks to limited time tax credits and special incentives on energy-efficient HVAC systems. But don't wait. Those federal tax credits expire after December. Upgrade your heating and cooling system, and you can enjoy lower energy bills and year-round comfort. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Call 913-888-4262 for your free consultation. Visit callhamilton.com for detailed terms and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in Missouri. Playing an Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stat lines, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash and play with as little as $1. It really is that easy. So select those Sundays and find which stats you want to go higher than lower than over at Underdog. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. You've got a crash 35 northbound past 7th. The center lane is blocked. And then 35 northbound, the on-ramp from 18th. That's a stall blocking the right lane from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val. 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. Earlier today, we played this audio. I want to play it for you again if you missed it. I try not to make it a habit to disagree with the legends, with the veterans. I try to respect our elders. I'm not here to argue with Warren Buffett about investing. I'm not here to argue with Dr. Dre on musical selection, you know? These are the GOATs. These are the legends. I hate that Joe Montana has put me in a position and where I have to disagree with Joe Montana about quarterbacks. You're Cool Joe. You're one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks to ever live. You're 4-0 in the Super Bowl. Joe, how could you be so wrong?
I'm taking the guy in Buffalo.
Okay, Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh. The guy that surprised me that I thought would, obviously Joe Burrow's another guy I like a lot. And believe it or not, I like the guy with the Chargers. Just Justin Herbert. I think they've kind of gone by the wayside there, but I don't know. I just like the way those three guys are.
BA, how do you feel about his top?
I do also like the guy in Philly though. And
Jalen Hurts, okay. Just won a Super Bowl. We do like him. Brock Purdy, obviously number one. He was left out.
Correct.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts is his Mount Rushmore outside of Brock Purdy. BA, did you expect that from Joe Montana?
I thought he might have thrown Patrick Mahomes in there, but I think it states how.
Well, I think I would have if he was younger.
Joe, there is no world in which I am picking Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes. I don't care the age difference at this stage in their life. I also find it a little bit dishonest. And again, I'm not here to poke holes in the legend. I'm not here to do that to the GOAT. Patrick Mahomes is 8 months older than Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes was born on September 17th, 1995. Josh Allen was born in May of 1996. So if you're going to take Josh Allen and age is not going to be a factor, I don't know how you can now leave Patrick Mahomes off of the list, and age is why you were leaving them off the list. That part just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And you guys know where I am on Justin Herbert. I don't understand how somebody who played in and won the amount of big games that Joe Montana played in. I mean, he was the quarterback of the dynasty of the 80s. The dynasty of the 80s is the San Francisco 49ers. They went to 4 Super Bowls. He won all of them. He and Bill Walsh are one of the greatest quarterback coach combinations in the history of the National Football League. You are a part of one of the most iconic plays in league history, the catch by Dwight Clark. I can go up and down the resume of Joe Montana. I don't have to tell you how good Joe Montana is. How can you accomplish all of those things and then take Justin Herbert to start your team? It blows my mind. What has Justin Herbert done? What big game has he won? How has he risen to the occasion, to the moment? If Justin Herbert announced that he was retired right now, the way that Andrew Luck did, we would have absolutely nothing to remember Justin Herbert by. Not a single memory, not a positive one. If Justin Herbert retired right now the way that Andrew Luck did, we talk about how he didn't win a playoff game. We talk about how they blew that playoff lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the guy that you're placing your faith in? Couldn't be me. Again, I'm not here to argue with the legends. I'm not here to argue with the GOATs. Joe Montana is one of the greatest football players to ever live, one of the most accomplished football players to ever play in the National Football League. But I'm here to say this, and I say this with the utmost respect. He has no clue what he's talking about. Not a morsel of clue of what he's talking about. He shouldn't even be allowed to give these opinions over public airwaves. He should be fined by the FCC. This is inappropriate content for children. They listen to this stuff, and now they believe you because you're Joe Montana. I can't believe he went on the Pat McAfee show and said this nonsense earlier today.
The age part really boggles my mind. Because, I'm not defending his comments, but if he had picked, 3 rookies or second-year players, it makes more sense for his age. Joe Burrow is a year younger than Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow feels a lot younger because he came into our lives later, but he played a lot of college football.
He did.
He's 28. You already mentioned Josh Allen's age, but no, out on Mahomes because he's 29. That just the logic's just bad. I cannot believe he didn't pick Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes was 39, okay, leave him off the list. You don't want to start your franchise with a 39-year-old, whatever. In the prime of his career, no, but yes on Joe Burrow at 28. That's not even disrespect to Joe Burrow. What? Just also, we're going to cruise past it, but McAfee said he automatically is putting Brock Purdy on his list, and he said, yes, I had to pick 3 outside of Brock Purdy. Why is Brock Purdy an auto ad?
He's the quarterback of San Francisco. I get why in this context you're putting Brock Purdy. I'm not even mad at that. He said so many other egregious things that taking the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to let that one slide. I'm not going to let too much of this other nonsense slide, but I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let Joe off the hook. This isn't good, Joe. I'm here to tell you this isn't good. These are... I know they say that your opinion can't be wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is incorrect, is what it is. This is incorrect. It cannot be right. It is impossible that you are right. Let's get back to this Andy Reid audio. Earlier today, he met with the media to talk about the status for Hollywood Brown.
Look good out there. Run around and, he just needs to get in the game and play. So, but as far as practice goes, he's done everything.
I want to play for you guys what Hollywood Brown had to say. He was asked if he feels pressure because of the Rashee Rice suspension.
No, not really. We know what we could do. When guys go down, it's next man up. When I went down, it's next man up. And that's our mentality throughout the whole team. So for us, it's just doing what we do.
Rob, let's talk about this for a little bit because I guess twofold. You have been maybe more critical about the Chiefs and their ability to kind of have those big plays kind of return to the offense. I'm not as worried about it. I think they'll figure it out. Eventually, they'll get Rashee Rice back. Another year in the offense for Xavier Worthy. Hollywood Brown is there. I don't think they're going to be the 2018 Chiefs offense, but I don't think that they'll be ranked 17th in points scored this year. I think their offensive line will just have more cohesiveness. I think their run game is going to be better, and I think that's one aspect that we're not just talking enough about, that last year, certainly in the second half of the Chiefs season, the Chiefs just couldn't run the football effectively. I think they'll be able to run the football effectively this year where they couldn't last season. Where's your confidence level heading into this early portion of the season with the wide receivers that they do have? We agree they are not bringing in outside reinforcements. They're not trading anybody. They're not picking up anybody on waivers. This is the wide receiver group that the Chiefs are going to have for the early portion of the season. I feel pretty good about where they are at wide receiver. I don't want to make it seem like this is one of the best rooms in the National Football League, but if there is any team that's kind of learned how to manage without their number one wide receiver, it's Kansas City. They haven't had Rashee Rice. It will be over a year since he was last on the field. So as a offensive team, as a staff, in terms of scheming, you should be kind of used to not having him be there. Their wide receiver room, in my opinion, is better today than it was in the AFC Championship game, than it was in the Super Bowl. If you're going to have a healthier version of Hollywood Brown, I really think that Tyquan Thornton is not being discussed nearly enough in this thing. I got confidence that they got something with Tyquan Thornton. I'm not expecting him to go out and be a high-level impact player, but we're talking about a guy who is still a very young player, a guy who, this is the Brett Veach special we talk so much about. We know that Brett Veach kind of loves those high draft picks, first, second, third round picks that maybe failed in their first organization, and now you got a chance at success in your next spot. These are the kind of players that I want Kansas City rolling the dice on and taking chances with. If he can stay healthy this year, I think he can be a positive contributor. We're talking about a 25-year-old who was a second-round pick who would technically still be on his rookie contract. If you like the Kadarius Toney move, I don't know how you can dislike this move with Tyquan Thornton. They're almost the same player, just one doesn't have nearly the off-field baggage as the other player. So if you came into this thing excited or hopeful about what Kadarius Toney could be, I don't know why people wouldn't share a lot of that same sentiment when it comes to Tyquan Thornton. If this team can get Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Thornton can kind of step in as that third receiver, you got enough at wideout, especially with the tight ends that you have and the versatility you have at running back with Pacheco, short yardage back, and I think Brashard Smith is going to factor into the pass game. They got enough at wide receiver to get them by until Rice comes back.
I think they have enough to get them by, but I think for a team and a fan base and a city that spoke all offseason about being more explosive and more dynamic and getting back to, their roots, for lack of a better term, in 2025, the idea of their wide receivers just being good enough is not going to live up to those expectations. So you asked what my confidence level is in the wide receivers going into these first 6 weeks at Rashee. On a scale of 1 to 10, 6.5, I have a lot of confidence in Xavier Worthy. I probably am more bullish on him than you are. I would buy a lot of Xavier Worthy stock right now. I understand that these catches didn't count and he missed probably 3 or 4 big plays because he just forgot the width of the football field. But those things seem to be getting cleaned up later in the season. And I'm a believer that he can go from a 650 guy to a 850, 900-yard guy in the NFL. So I'm a huge believer in him.
I think he can be that, just for the record. I think he can be that.
And maybe a little juiced up stats this year because of the first 6 weeks, but I'm a real big Xavier Worthy fan. After that, I think you can poke holes in the Chiefs wide receiver room pretty quickly with Rashee Rice injury. Hollywood Brown had a great season one year, and I believe it was Baltimore, maybe it was Arizona. I forget. He had the one season that he was incredible. He's had good seasons outside of that. We have never seen him in Kansas City, and I know that he's healthy now, and Andy Reid for 12 seconds talked about him practicing, but I have to see it to believe it. Juju Smith-Schuster, you told me earlier in the show you think he's done. So let's take that for what it's worth. Jalen Royals is hurt. Let's put him to the side for a little bit. I am probably not as high as a lot of people are on Tyquan Thornton because I know the Veach special, second-round pick, the speed. I get all this stuff. And the Chiefs may have found a Justin Watson type. And if they did, great. But I don't think Justin Watson types are going to make the offense go from 17th in points and looking sluggish at times last year to dynamic and explosive. So that's your wide receiver room. I have it at 6.5 out of 10 confidence, but a lot of that confidence is carried by the fact I am very high on Xavier Worthy in 2025. And outside of that, it's a lot of unknown commodities that we think can be good, but unknown commodities could go either direction. And then a guy who you told me earlier in the show is washed.
Yeah, the big thing to me I'm looking forward with Xavier Worthy is I just think they need to be maybe more efficient with the opportunities. So to kind of put this into perspective, last year Xavier Worthy had 98 targets. Jordan Addison had 99 targets, so virtually the same. Jordan Addison got thrown the ball one more time than Xavier Worthy did. He had 250 more yards than Xavier Worthy did last year. Nico Collins, we both like Nico Collins, right? One of the better wide receivers in the league. Nico Collins also had one more target than Xavier Worthy did. He had 400 more yards receiving with just one more opportunity. So part of it to me is going to be, I think I have a good idea of what the volume is going to be for Xavier Worthy. Can you be more efficient with those opportunities? And to the point that you just made, last year to me, it wasn't about volume. He got 100 targets last year. He got 98 targets, basically 100 targets. He had less than 650 yards on 98 targets, where, again, Jordan Addison had 99 targets for 875 yards. Nico had 99 targets for 1,000 yards. So even if Xavier Worthy doesn't get much more of a volume than what he got, can you raise that number from 600 to 875? I think everybody would take him being Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is a really, really good number 2 receiver. So if you were telling me that whenever Rashee Rice comes back, Rashee Rice is your prototypical, I don't think he'll get there this year because of games played, but if he can be on a pace to be your 1,100, 1,200-yard receiver, and you're telling me that your number 2 receiver trends to be a Jordan Addison type, I think you'll more than take that if you're the Kansas City Chiefs of the kind of prospect that I think the Xavier Worthy is going to be. So last year, they took a lot of chances at home runs. They swung and missed on a lot of those opportunities with Xavier Worthy. You don't have to connect on all of those. If they could have connected on 3 of those plays over the course of the 17-game season, that's an extra 170 yards last year on big plays, long touchdowns that kind of shift the balance of the game. You give them an extra 150, 175 yards, you have them at 800 yards as a guy, and I think you can live with that as him being a number 2 wide receiver.
I think that's what his career will look like, but I think in these first 6 weeks, I think his usage and his targets could look similar to what they did with Rashee Rice toward the end of the 2023 season. And this is no disrespect to Rashee Rice. You remember as well as I do, at the end of the season, you were clamoring, hey, the only people that can touch the football in this 2023 team are Kelsey, Rice, Pacheco. That's it. And the Chiefs basically did that and rode themselves to a Super Bowl. But at the end, they were force-feeding targets and force-feeding catches to Rashee Rice, and it worked. He was dynamic in the playoffs. He was really good, and then he took the next step, and early in his second year, he looked like he could be one of those guys. He got hurt. Now he's suspended. We'll see what happens. Rashee Rice, I think in these Xavier Worthy, in these 6 weeks where Rashee Rice is not in the lineup, you can force feed him targets a little bit. You can kind of goose up his catch numbers the way they did with Rashee Rice toward the end of 2023. And if you're doing that, maybe just for 2025, with it being a guy who he thinks an 800, 900-yard guy on the regular with goosed up numbers because of a suspension, he could be tiptoeing around 1,000 in 2025, which is why I'm a lot more confident in the Chiefs receiver room than most, is because I have a lot of confidence in Xavier Worthy.
I'll give you a toss-up question that's just popped in my head. If I told you that one of these two players has a career year, they have the best version of themselves this season, I tell you it's Hollywood Brown or Charles Omenihu. Who do you think it is?
Omenihu?
Because you would agree they are probably in the exact same spot.
Correct.
Charles Omenihu is the Hollywood Brown for the defense.
Exactly. I would say Omenihu. I guess we can say all these same things about Hollywood Brown. We've never really seen Omenihu at full go. In Kansas City. I know he was, full go at the beginning of the season. There was the suspension, and then last year there was the injury, and he was kind of slow coming back from it. I think Omenihu is more likely to have the career year, but they are the same. They are each the same thing on offense and defense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm curious what you guys think. 913-586-7965. If I told you that one of these two players have a career year and have the best version of themselves, who do you think it would be? Do you think it would be Hollywood Brown or Charles Omenihu? I would say that the two are almost identical. Both are back on one-year deals, probably thought they'd be playing somewhere else, whether it was through injury, whatever happened, they're back on the Chiefs on a team-friendly one-year deal. Both of them are under 30, so your time is kind of running out to get that big-time deal. If Hollywood doesn't get paid next offseason, then he ain't never getting paid that kind of money in the National Football League. I'd also say the exact same thing for Charles Omenihu. Teams have shown you they'll pay for pass rush, even if you're the second, third kind of pass rusher. If Omenihu goes out there and has 9.5 sacks this season and stays healthy and is a key part of a championship-level defense, there is going to be a team that pays Charles Omenihu very, very handsomely at the end of this season. You just got to go out there and put that year together. You're right. It's always been kind of something with Charles Omenihu. His first year, he didn't start the early part of the season because he was suspended. Last year, he wasn't on the field for the early portion of the season because of the leg injury. It kind of sounds like Hollywood Brown last year. Can you keep those two guys on the field? Can you keep them healthy? Can you get the productivity that you expected them to be? We obviously got to see as the season gets going.
I know this is not your point, but I'm curious. Let's say Hollywood Brown has a career year. To find the type of one of those contracts he's going to get, because I think he missed the window for the super money. Now, I don't have his contract in front of me. When he got traded to Arizona, he may have already checked the box for super money, because I remember that was a big deal. The Ravens traded him away. I believe they got a first-round pick back. It was a massive trade. You'd imagine when those sort of things happen in the NFL, the Cardinals pay him. But he's going to be 29 next offseason. Even if he has $750 to $900, do you think he's getting like a whoa contract? I think the whoa days for him, like money-wise, are gone.
No, I mean, he actually never got that deal. So
Which is very surprising with the trade, now I hear that.
I mean, they picked up his fifth-year option, and then that was kind of it. They then let him walk in free agency. He signed back-to-back one-year, $7 million deals. Is that what happened? I mean, you might be right when it comes to Hollywood. I mean, he's 28 years old. I mean, Juju was a little bit younger than this when he ended up signing his deal. I mean, I guess I would just ask, like, what's number two money? Like, could he end up being Gabe Davis? I mean, Gabe Davis got, 3 years, $30 million?
And then immediately got cut, but yeah. But he got paid.
He got paid and then was bad. He signed I just looked it up. He signed a 3-year, $39 million deal, and then you're right, just got cut soon after that. Could a team give that to Hollywood if he has a really productive season? Let's say that things go A+ for Hollywood this season. He has 60 catches for 850 yards and 6 touchdowns. I don't think he's signing a 1-year, $7 million deal next season. Maybe he doesn't get Gabe Davis money. He gets 2 for 22 and gets 15 of it guaranteed. I would consider that real money for Hollywood Brown. I mean, no team has ever, outside of Baltimore, no team has committed to Hollywood Brown. He got traded to Arizona. They let his rookie contract expire. They let him go to Kansas City. He signed a 1-year deal in Kansas City. They basically just offered him, hey, you can run it back at the exact same salary. He chose to run it back. I mean, this is your last chance to bite off of the apple. The salary cap is going to expand a 10%, 12%. Teams are clear on they'll pay wide receiver, and you don't got to be wide receiver 1. You can be wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. They will find salary cap to give to you. If you go out and put a good season together and show you can stay healthy, man, some of that money can be yours at the end of the season. You just actually got to go on the field and prove it, and it's been a while since Hollywood has proven it on the field.
I guess that's the the key crux here. It's like defining what making that type of money is. Because like I looked it up, Darnell Mooney's a fine wide receiver.
I think he could definitely be Darnell Mooney.
He got 3 for 39, 26 guaranteed. I could see him getting that contract. I just think the who was the receiver that the Jags signed that everyone made fun of? He was Christian Kirk.
Yep.
He ain't ever getting that contract. Now, he's older than Christian Kirk, but he's not going to get a contract that we go, can you believe he got that money? But he could easily get Darnell Mooney money. But I just think the idea of getting like the super payday, which is what you think is going to happen one day in the league. That's over. That's dead and gone.
Yeah, no, you and I are saying the same thing, maybe just looking at it a little bit different. If you've been signing back-to-back 1-year, $7 million deal, and now you sign a 3-year, $39 million deal, guaranteed $26 million, and a signing bonus of $15 like Darnell Mooney, you got paid, in my opinion. I mean, that's basically what happened to Juju. Juju came to Kansas City on a 1-year deal. He played exceptionally well. He cashed out with the Patriots, and basically his body is given out since then. Like sometimes you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. And if you can put together that 1 year in your contract, you just got to get one team to believe in you, one team to invest, and you're set. That's all Hollywood needs. You need one good year and to convince the Los Angeles Chargers to give you a 2-year, $24 million deal and $15 million guaranteed. Can he put that season together? We'll figure it out. We'll continue to talk some college football from the weekend. We'll also continue to get you ready for Week 1 Chiefs and Chargers. Keep it right here, so drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
Pro football season kicks off in a few days. Let's take a look at the prices to win the AFC. Baltimore and Buffalo, the co-favorites at plus 340. Kansas City at plus 425. Now, coming into the year, you can make the case that Baltimore and Buffalo are both better in terms of a full roster than Kansas City. But Kansas City's quarterback is obviously nails when it matters the most. And the question you have to ask yourself, if you like Baltimore or Buffalo, do you think they can take down Kansas City in January? I don't. I still like Kansas City to win the AFC, plus 425.
That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and take your game to the next level with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
And Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
How about those Chiefs?
Chiefs Kingdom, for the first time ever, the Chiefs play on Red Friday. Get ready for a kickoff like no other with our limited edition, one-of-a-kind How About Those Chiefs flag, available on Friday, September 5th at KC area McDonald's for $5 or shop.chiefs.com for $10, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City. For more information, visit Chiefs.com/Red Friday. And make sure you tune into our game in Brazil against the Chargers that night at 7 p.m.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus packs, which expires 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. The crash near Raytown still there. 435 southbound just past 70. It's the right lane blocked. Kansas side of things, 35 northbound past 7th. Right lane blocked by a stall. From the Anthony Plumbing Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center and Val 96.5 The Fan.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
I'm willing to at least entertain this possibility for a very short period of time before we talk a little college football. Because I have a question about Kansas State. And I don't even mean it as a way of poking fun at Kansas State. I really don't. You guys haven't done anything to me this year. You guys haven't been talking slick this year. So I don't have anything negative to say about K-State. We'll get to them coming up in a bit. Do you think that we are too hard on Justin Herbert? It is a team game. Like, let's at least entertain this possibility. It is a team game. He is not the sole reason for why the Chargers have not had success. He is a good quarterback. I don't think he is a great quarterback. I wouldn't put him in the tiers above. Like, I wouldn't put him in the elite tier. I don't even think he's in that second tier. But objectively, he is a good quarterback. This is why I really struggle with Herbert in my evaluation and where to put him. Because the numbers would suggest, like if you just did a blind resume, a blind test, the numbers would suggest that Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback in the league and probably a little higher than that. I mean, Justin Herbert, over the last 2 seasons, he has completed 65% of his passes. He has 43 touchdowns and 10 interceptions the last 2 seasons with a passer rating at 96. He has been a very good and consistent quarterback. Where I really struggle at with Herbert is he has no memories, and he is not a quarterback that if things are really pressure-packed, if it's 3rd and 7 and you need a quarterback to make a play, I don't know if you would put Justin Herbert in your top 10. I've made this analogy. It just feels like empty calories. He feels like LaMelo Ball on the Hornets. He does a lot of cool stuff that looks really good on TikTok, really good on Instagram. LaMelo Ball has never contributed to a winning team. He has never done anything in the league on a team that matters or means anything. That's kind of how I feel about Justin Herbert. All of these stats are really, really nice. But in your 2 playoff games, it's not like you've gone on the road against Kansas City or on the road against Philadelphia. Like, all right, that makes sense how you could struggle against those teams. Oh, well, you went on the road against Buffalo. Oh, yeah, of course. They've played the winner of the AFC South both times. Over the last 5 years, if you could pick the playoff team you would go up against, you would pick the winner of the AFC South. They blew a massive lead to one of them, and you just got flat out outplayed by Justin or about CJ Stroud the last time. You can't throw 4 interceptions in the postseason game and 3 in the regular season and not want me to put the responsibility on you. So on one side, I do feel like, man, maybe we're a little bit hard on Justin Herbert. He is a good quarterback. He does finally now have a head coach that we like. He does have this. He does have that. But you can't be 27 years old with no accomplishments and me still put you in the conversation with the more accomplished QBs.
I agree with what you're saying 100%. I do feel like he gets lumped into a category, though, sometimes unfairly, with guys who will never accomplish anything. Like, do I think Justin Herbert will win a playoff game one day? Probably. Will he win a Super Bowl? Probably not. But do I think he eventually is good enough and has enough infrastructure around him that he can have a playoff memory here or there? Of course. I do believe that about Justin Herbert because the arm talent is there and all those things. But I feel like sometimes people lump him in with Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert's, I know he lost to Trevor Lawrence. You would take Justin Herbert over Trevor Lawrence right now. You would take him over Tua right now, who's been to just many playoff games. Like, I think he gets lumped in with a category of losers that he's better than, but he's not as good as the next echelon, so he falls into this weird no man's land.
I would say then, though, that the only quarterback that you would put in that conversation is Dak Prescott then. He's in the Dak Prescott conversation.
And I would take Justin Herbert over Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think they're the same.
Jordan Love also is in this conversation, by the way.
Yeah, but I would say, though, where it's a little bit different.
They're in the
Jordan
same
Love
draft class, by the way.
I think it's a little bit different where Jordan Love has had 2 seasons as a starter, where Justin Herbert has had 5 years as a starter. Now, that conversation that you want to have about Jordan Love, that's about to happen this year. They drafted you a wide receiver in round 1. They just got you one of the 5 best defensive players in the league. If the Packers go 9-7, they ain't going to be mad at Matt LaFleur. We're going to hold the quarterback responsible that you couldn't elevate them and raise them up. What makes Justin Herbert different than Dak Prescott? Healthy regular season Dak Prescott is good. It's the postseason that you have the issue with Dak Prescott. It's the January, it's the playoff game. Can you elevate your team? But 2 seasons ago, Dak Prescott completed 69% of his passes, threw for 4,500 yards, 36 touchdown passes, and 9 interceptions, and laid an egg in round 1. Tell me that don't sound like Justin Herbert, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. So I'm with you. I'd rather have Justin Herbert than have Tua Tagovailoa. I'd rather have him than, who was the other quarterback you mentioned?
Well, I said Jordan Love.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him rather than Jordan
Trevor
Love.
Lawrence.
I'd rather have Justin Herbert than Trevor Lawrence. There's no question. But I also think I can't put him in the Brock Purdy conversation. I can't put him in the Jalen Hurts conversation. I can't put him with Jared Goff. I can't put him with Joe Burrow. Like, there's more of those good quarterbacks that your resume doesn't hold up to than it does. To me, you were just AFC version of Dak Prescott. When you're healthy, you're a very good regular season quarterback, but I do not trust you at all in critical moments, and I do not trust you in the postseason. And you have to be that until proven otherwise.
That's why I say Justin Herbert falls into a no man's land. Because, and I'm not going to rattle through all the quarterbacks I have above him, but like the Hurts, the Burrows, the Mahomes, the Allens, obviously, Purdy as well. But like, he falls in at like 12th. If you were to create a top 32 quarterback list, like sit down and go 1 to 32, text line, you can think of this in your head, you would find him bumping up to the Trevor Lawrence types pretty quickly around 13, 14, 15. There's a lot of those types of guys in the league. I think he is more talented than those guys, and his resume is eerily similar to those guys, and you would probably take him ahead of those guys. Like Kyler Murray. I would take Justin Herbert over Kyler Murray in a heartbeat, but that's that nothing tier in the middle where you're like,
I think they're the same. Honestly, I think they're in that same conversation. I think there is a group of quarterbacks in the league that even though we've seen them for 5, 6, 7 years, we still keep talking about potential and what they could turn into. Well, man, you've been in the league for 7 years. When does your potential run out and we just accept what you are? Like, I'm willing to accept it because I mentioned with Jordan Love, he's had 2 seasons as a starter. This is Justin Herbert's 6th season as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. 6. You have 0 playoff wins. You've never been All-Pro. You've never been in the MVP conversation. You have just been a guy that's good to take in the 11th round of fantasy football. That's all you've been. Last point I want to make, and we'll get to the top of the hour. It's pretty remarkable that the Packers were able to go from one Hall of Fame quarterback to the next. I mean, the Packers had a 20-year stretch of a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. The Chargers have not developed at quarterback in 10 years. They had that Phillip Rivers run early on in his career where they had Marty Schottenheimer as the head coach, and they had a couple of chances to make a deep run, and they usually ran into the Patriots, and that was the team that eliminated them. But probably from about 2010 until now, they have had very good, consistent regular season play when it comes to their quarterback and don't have anything else to show for it. Like, it is just transferred. They have just been stuck in this 9-7, 8-8, maybe they go 10-7. They have been stuck in this portal for the last 15 years of just being I don't want to call them mediocre. They are a slightly above average, better than mediocre, but nowhere close to being a true contending team. And they've been that now for 15 consecutive seasons. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the Royals, who are 2.5 games back in the wild card picture. We'll talk a little college football as well with week 1 wrapping up. We will eventually talk about K-State and the hits, and we'll also continue to get you ready for week 1 Chiefs and Chargers. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. You know, I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. We've got a new crash, and that's 70 eastbound past Blue Ridge Cutoff in the left lane. Overland Park, a 2-car crash, 35 northbound past 87th in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's Ocean Waves and Kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here to treatment. In my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen to the Chiefs and Chargers on Friday night with pregame starting at 4. Kickoff at 7 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there for you. I'm not going to tell you which app, but if you are one of the people that like to throw a little money on these games, there is currently a happy hour boost at plus 100 for Travis Kelce to get a catch in the first quarter of the game. My friend just alerted me of this. Rob, I just told you we're both on this, right? This is a great boost to take, right? This is a no-brainer to me. So I just want to go ahead and tell you guys, maybe you didn't know. I can't tell you which app, but there currently is a happy hour boost that I would encourage you to take for Chiefs and Chargers on Friday. We've been having a lot of fun today. Happy that you guys are with us. Happy that football season is back. I watched a lot of college football this weekend. I imagine that you guys also watched a lot of college football this weekend. And coming up in just 2 days, we have Cowboys and Eagles, and we also have Chiefs and Chargers coming up on Friday. Really happy to be here with you on the drive on 96.5 The Fan. So, Rob, I think the best place to start, as we're off a little bit early today because of the Royals, is I think we need to start here. There has been a lot of talk, a lot of conversation about who could potentially win the AFC West. You have heard the Chargers name being thrown out there. The Broncos have gotten a lot of buzz. There have been a lot of people who have entertained the possibility that the AFC West is no longer the Chiefs. I mean, I could play clip after clip after clip of various people that think, well, now it's the Chargers' turn. It's the Broncos' turn. Oh, wait, look out. It's the Raiders. We obviously have to see how the football season plays itself out. But I do think that this stands firm. If you believe that the division is slipping away from Kansas City, if you believe that one of those other three teams is going to rise up and be the best team in the AFC West, then you cannot pick the Chiefs this week. Because if there is one thing that the Chiefs have done better than just about any team in the league, it is get off to good starts, especially when we are talking about the opponents in their division. So I had Rob look this up because I was really curious. Andy Reid, in his time as the head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, he is 56-13 15 against teams in their division. Patrick Mahomes has started 40 games against teams in the AFC West. The Chiefs have won 35 of those games. They do not lose to teams in their division. The best way to beat the Chiefs in the AFC West is you got to split your home and road against them. This is supposed to be a home game for the Chargers. They gave that up to go to Sao Paulo for the international mission that the NFL has, and that's great. I'm happy that the Chiefs are not the ones giving up a home game. But you can't realistically talk to me about how the division is closing the gap, even though the Chiefs won the division by 4 games last year. You cannot talk to me about how the Chargers can win the division or the Broncos can win the division if you can't beat the Chiefs week 1 at a neutral site when you have had months to prepare for them. If you don't beat them now, when do you plan on beating them? I told you guys earlier, there's a handful of questions that I have for the AFC. Are the Chiefs still the Chiefs after what happened in the Super Bowl? Are Baltimore and Buffalo ready to take that next step? Are they ready to sit in the chair of being the best team in the AFC? And what other team can emerge? I mean, if you think the Chargers or the Broncos can win the division, then you consider them to be a Super Bowl contending team, in my opinion. If you're better than Kansas City, you got a chance at winning the Super Bowl. You cannot lose this game and then turn around and tell me that you can win the division. That's just not how this works to me, in my opinion. 35-5 in games against teams in the division. That is with different coaches, different offensive coordinators, different quarterbacks. Remember one year, Peter King, whose voice I respect, you saw him prominently displayed in the kingdom. There was a time that he said the AFC West was the most competitive division that he has ever seen. Remember that year when Denver got Russell Wilson and then Von Miller was on? The most competitive division ever. Chiefs won that division. That sounds like the conversation we're having now. Look at the quarterbacks. Look at the coaches. Look at this team. Look at that draft pick. Oh, this team's a lot better. Well, you got to prove it on the field at some point. Man, your first chance to prove it on the field is on Friday against Kansas City. Vegas is telling you that this is essentially a coin flip game. The Chiefs have a slight edge in this game. They're a 3-point favorite. So Vegas is telling you that the Chiefs have a 55-45 percentage advantage. I think we all know this about Chiefs games. This game is going to be close. I would be surprised if the Chiefs blow out the Chargers. It's been a while since they've really blown out anybody. I'm going to assume that that continues. I'm going to assume that heading into the fourth quarter, this is going to be a 27-21 game. It's going to be 24-17, and both teams are going to be in it with a chance to win. I have seen the Chiefs routinely figure out a way to win in those environments. I haven't seen the Chargers win a lot of those games. We keep hearing people say, well, you can't keep winning one-score games like this. Eventually, you regress to the mean. You regress to the mean. Well, this is the Chiefs playing a good team, a team that has a chance to go into the postseason that you tell me is so much improved and so better than they were last year. Well, if they're better than Kansas City, then you have to prove it to me on Friday. You cannot sell me these other teams in the division if they lose. So that's where I want to start the 5 o'clock hour. We were also talking about this earlier today as well. Here is what Andy Reid said about Hollywood Brown and his status for Friday.
Look good out there. Run around and, he's getting the game and play. So, but as far as practice goes, he's done everything.
So that is Andy Reid. That's what he had to say about Hollywood Brown. Here's what Hollywood Brown said to the media about the pressure to step up with no Rashee Rice.
No, not really. We know what we could do. When guys go down, it's next man up. When I went down, it's next man up. And that's our mentality throughout the whole team. So for us, it's just doing what we do.
Rob, do you think that people still have a level of excitement about Hollywood Brown? Because it wasn't that long ago that Hollywood, I would say, still carried a little bit of name cachet. And I remember there was a sentiment that, well, he hasn't played with a good quarterback yet. Well, he played with Lamar Jackson. He played with Kyler Murray. The sentiment was, you now put that player in this offense, in this system, we can unlock his full potential. Well, if you felt that way about Hollywood coming into the 2024 season, I don't know why you wouldn't feel that way coming into this season. It's not like it was a careless injury that happened. He got tackled, he fell wrong on his shoulder, and had a severe dislocation. That could happen to anybody. In fact, that happened to Tyreek Hill when he was here in Kansas City. So I don't know if that's you not taking care of your body or soft tissue injury. This was just, man, football happened. You fell wrong on your shoulder. You dislocated your shoulder. It was a more severe dislocation than people anticipated. You now got surgery and now you're good. If you were really excited about Hollywood Brown a year ago, I don't know why you wouldn't really be excited about him coming into this season. If you look at what a healthy Hollywood Brown looks like, and I know we haven't seen a lot of it. I mean, in 2022, he played in 12 games. He had 700 yards. He played in 16 games in 2021 in Baltimore. He had 1,000 yards. He played in 16 games in the COVID season. He had 750 yards. If he's on the field, he has usually been a pretty productive player for whatever team that he's on. Now, I don't think he's going to have 1,000 yards this year, but we have never seen what healthy Hollywood Brown looks like for the Kansas City Chiefs. He played in one preseason game last year and got injured. And then when he showed up, he got dropped into the NFL season at Christmas time. Not Halloween, not even Thanksgiving. They just dropped him on an NFL team around Christmas. I don't know if a lot of players would have a lot of success if you joined a team so late in the year. We're talking about now heading into the season. You got a second year in the offense, second year around your teammates, second year with Mahomes, second year with Andy Reid. You're healthy coming into the season. There should be a little bit of buzz and a little bit of excitement for Hollywood Brown. This is also, if we're looking at it, in my opinion, this is the best receiver you've placed with Xavier Worthy since week 4 of the NFL season. Since Rashee Rice got injured, Hollywood Brown in 2025 is better than what DeAndre Hopkins was, better than what Juju Smith-Schuster is, better than any receiver that they had. So if you're telling me that now it frees Xavier Worthy up to be the down the field guy, you think that Hollywood can be the intermediate guy, make some of the tough catches, maybe Hollywood is still a guy that you think is a burner that can make some of those down the field plays. I come into this with the measure of excitement. I think you got to be realistic about it. This is a one-year player on a $7 million deal, and he's 28 years old. He'll be 29 when the season is over. So I'm not here telling you that they're going to find some fountain of youth, but we've seen them do this before. Juju was a player that the rest of the league didn't want, that no other team really wanted to commit to. Kansas City made a commitment, got him in on a one-year deal. He stayed healthy for what could be the last time in his career. He had 900 yards receiving and turned that into a second contract with the New England Patriots. I'm asking, do you even think that's possible anymore with Hollywood? I'm not ready to give the dream up. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. He is the player that I'm putting the pressure on. I think he is their X factor. If the Chiefs are looking at being a top 10 offense again this season in the National Football League, it has to start with Hollywood being a productive player and a positive for them on offense.
So I think it's a very difficult question to answer for me if people still believe in Hollywood Brown, because I will be the first to admit I am one of the people that does not believe in Hollywood Brown. I do not believe what you're describing he will get back to. I do not believe he is going to be that type of player. I believe his ceiling, what he can be in this Chiefs offense. Like if we are in doing the show and it's January 2nd, basically the end of the season, maybe the Chiefs are getting ready for a meaningless Week 18 game against whoever they have in Week 18. Doesn't matter. If we're doing the show on January 2nd and he has basically what McCole Hardman had as a third-year player in the league in 2021, which was 83 targets, 60 catches, 693 yards. The best version of McCole Hardman was basically a 700-yard receiver. If Hollywood Brown does that this year, I think that is fair expectation. I think that's right in line with what I think he can do. But I get labeled a hater of Hollywood Brown because I think 700 yards is probably his ceiling. Maybe 750. I think that's the top of the line for Hollywood.
I'll take that.
But I think the average fan, if you're going to ask if they're a believer in Hollywood, hears me say that, and driving home right now in traffic, it hits their ear that I'm a hater because I only think Hollywood Brown can get 700 yards at most. I think there is still a belief from fans that Hollywood Brown can be Hollywood Brown. They remember the first-round pick. They remember him being good in Baltimore. They remember him being good in Arizona, and they feel like they've never seen it here, but just wait, and they'll unleash it, and it'll be great. But I think he's a 700, 600-yard type of receiver, which, if that's your expectation, and if that's fair to, if that's considered belief, I believe in him. But if you believe he's got 800 or 900 in him again, I just don't see that happening at 28 years old, considering the fact that even outside of the freak injury, he has had soft tissue injuries in his career. Now, they're not every year, but they do pop up, and they haven't dissipated with age.
Well, I guess I would just defend you in this is if anyone is calling you a hater because you don't think that Hollywood Brown is going to be an 800-yard receiver, he only has 1 year in his 6-year career in which he's had more than 800 yards receiving. So, I mean, he has been a 700 to 800-yard guy. He had the 1 year with 1,000 yards. Outside of that, 584, 796, 709. That's who he's been so far in his career. I could live with Hollywood just being the player that he was in their 2 regular season games. Now, he didn't really do a whole lot in the postseason. Like, he was a non-contributor for the most part. They played 3 games. He had 50 yards receiving. He didn't really do a lot. Hollywood Brown, in his 2 regular season games last year, he had 5 catches for 45 yards. He had 4 catches for 46 yards. If you can do that on a consistent game in, game out basis, that you can be a 4 to 6 catch guy and get you somewhere between 40 and 55 yards a game, I will take that every single day of the week for Hollywood Brown, especially when you think about the other weapons and other options that they have in their offense. You expect Xavier Worthy to take a step forward. You expect Travis Kelce to get a certain measure of volume and opportunities. Isaiah Pacheco is going to get, hopefully, 200 carries this year. You also got to feed other players on the team. If Hollywood Brown is contributing somewhere between 40 and 55 yards a game for this team, I think you consider that to be an overwhelming win when you think about what you expect his role to be on this team and also what they're paying him this year.
So you would be happy if he basically walked away with 40 yards a game. Like that, I just want to make sure you would have a happy season with him at 40 yards a game. So what you're asking, and I'm going to look for a player comp, and this player comp's going to, again, it's not like me hating, but I think this is what you're describing. You're looking for 2022 MVS. Because in 2022, when Patrick Mahomes was the MVP, this is not like, hey, a offense that was a slog. It was, hey, this is Mahomes at his best in the post-Tyreek Hill era. MVS had 81 targets for 40-plus catches and 687. He averaged 40 a game. I would be happy with Hollywood Brown being 2022 MVS. I think the average fan, because of what happened the year after with MVS,
I actually don't think that fans feel that way. I think you're off on that.
I think fans have a higher expectation of Hollywood because of his name.
I think there's way more fans that have turned on Hollywood than are over. Like, we know that sometimes when Chiefs fans, like when you're excited about somebody, you're like over the moon expectations. I just don't really get the sense that people feel that way about Hollywood. Like, I think more people have kind of turned on him because he just keeps having injuries and you haven't seen him before. Like, I don't really get the sense that there's a lot of hope and optimism around him as a player and what he can do this season. I'm just looking at it from a very different perspective. But yes, if you were telling me that I could press the button right now and Hollywood has 675 yards receiving, I don't hesitate to press the button. You will absolutely take that from a player that you think at the end of the season is your 3rd wide receiver. And you and I are also different. I actually think that Tyquan Thornton is going to be a much bigger factor than you think he's going to be. I think that Tyquan Thornton is going to have like 400 to 500 yards receiving.
I would love that. I would be very happy with that. I think Tyquan Thornton is much more Justin Watson. I think he is, because remember, I think it was 2021. I forget the years, but I remember there was one year in the offseason, Peter Schrager did this whole thing on Good Morning Football where he said, the Chiefs found another one. They found a guy off the scrap heap. They just signed Justin Watson. And we made fun of it in May. And then in August, September, October, Justin Watson was productive. He wasn't the best receiver in the NFL, but Justin Watson was absolutely a productive player. If the Chiefs get that out of Tyquan Thornton, I'm going to call that an absolute win. But I think he's a 150 to 400-yard guy at his ceiling. Like the year I'm talking about, 2022, his first year in Kansas City, he burst on the scene, had that big catch, remember, against the Chargers on Thursday Night Football with Bezos there, he had the big, long touchdown catch. That season, he had 315 yards. Like, maybe he does a little better because no Rashee Rice early, but I think he's like a 300-yard guy, which is fine. You found him off the scrap heap. You had him on the practice squad last year. That's a win. He's Byron Pringle, but I think if you start getting over 350 to 400, that's an outlandish expectation for Tyquan Thornton.
I think this text actually sums it up perfectly. I think Chiefs fans have simply forgotten about Hollywood Brown. If he starts off hot, then I think the interest will quickly be reinvigorated. I 100% think that Chiefs fans are like this. I think you guys are really hot and cold with Patrick Mahomes pass catchers. You're really hot on Justin Ross for a time. Justin Ross doesn't meet your expectations, and you just simply move on to the next guy that you get really, really excited about. There was a time where people were really excited about Hollywood Brown. He then got hurt. He had a setback. You guys have now moved on. You moved on to Jalen Royals. You now moved on to Tyquan Thornton. If Hollywood Brown gets off to a good start, first two, he'll be right back in your good graces. I've seen it happen too many times with these kind of guys. I'm hopeful for Hollywood this year. I really look at him as being their X factor on offense. We mentioned this earlier. I think it's Hollywood on offense, and I think it's Charles Omenihu, which just kind of goes to show you the difference between like offensive and defensive players. Because I would say for the most part, people are very hopeful and expecting Charles Omenihu to kind of bounce back and have a pretty productive year. Hollywood and Charles Omenihu have been virtually the exact same player. Just one is a wide receiver and one is a rush in. Last year's year from Charles Omenihu is not nearly as productive as fans remember it being. It's not like he came back and had 5 sacks or any of those things. Like, look at his numbers. He had less than 10 tackles last year when he returned and had 1.5 sacks. And people, I think, are pretty optimistic about Omenihu. If you're optimistic about him, you should certainly feel that way about Hollywood Brown. I know we're up against it. I know we don't have a lot of time. We're handing things off to Josh Vernier. What's going on with Kansas State? Am I missing something? I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot of the game. I really wasn't planning on Saturday with all of the other games that's going on that my focus and attention would be on Kansas State, North Dakota. I just watched them last week against a real team. I wasn't expecting to watch their first scrimmage of the season. They were down 35-31 with less than 2 minutes to go at the crib and needed to put together a drive to defeat North Dakota. Did I miss something? Is something wrong with Kansas State? I know they didn't have Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards doesn't play defense for you. No reason for you to give up 35 points to North Dakota. What's going on with the Wildcats? Why have they gotten off to such a slow start?
I don't know. I'll be the first to admit I had the same thought you did. I was at the lake this weekend enjoying my Labor Day. I was kind of keeping an eye on my phone just to kind of see it. And then as the game got down to the wire, I was like, is K-State about to lose? And then I saw some quotes post-game where Chris Kleiman said, yeah, this was our hangover game. Well, that is concerning because Iowa State, who also went to Ireland, they didn't have a hangover game. You know what Iowa State did after Ireland? They went up and whooped up on South Dakota at home.
I think they're the best team in the Big 12.
I think they are too. You know what K-State did? They made excuses about being hungover and like a hangover effect from the travel, and they struggled and gave up 31 at home.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on.
This was a team that we thought was a Big 12 champion type of team, and they have not shown that yet.
That was very un-K-State-like. Like, that's not really the program that I'm expecting to come home and just sleepwalk through a game. Now, you won the game, right? And if you get things back on track, no one cares. No one's going to remember it. You will just simply move on from it. It happens from time to time. But just very uncharacteristic of a Wildcat team that's like very disciplined, takes care of their business. You think maybe that game is close at half, but you don't let it get to a point where you need a last 2-minute drive to take you down the field and to take the lead. Very, very surprising result from them. I would check out the podcast page today. We talked a lot of college football. If you missed any of it, we talked about Arch, talked about Alabama. Don't have enough time to do that in the 5 o'clock hour today. I would just highly encourage you to go on 96.5 The Fan and listen to it. We're off a little bit early today because of the Royals. The Royals are at home against the Angels. The Royals need to sweep one of these two series. You got a home series against the Angels. They're terrible. You got a home series against the Twins. You are in the middle of a dogfight. It is 3 teams fighting for one spot. You are 2.5 games back. You are 2 weeks away from playing one of those teams at Kauffman Stadium. You need to sweep one of these two teams if you're serious about trying to get to that 86, 87 win marker and giving yourself a chance to compete in the postseason. I had a lot of fun today. We'll pick up our football guests as we get closer to Friday. Take care of yourself. Catch you guys tomorrow. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
At Busey, banking is about more than numbers. It's about relationships. For over 150 years, we've been helping individuals, families, and businesses reach their goals